give me one mic. Everybody's got excuses, but you got one life to live, one life to give, one moment, one opportunity. Boy, that's it, and it's all said and done. When the going gets tough and the tough gets going, you just go ahead and run. Cause opinions are like assholes, everybody has one. They're being constructive or they jealous of the outcome. It's not about the times you fail, it's about the times you got up. And I don't even care what the fuck your excuses is. Fact is, you just playing the cards of foolishness. What you think I'm dubious, you gotta get up, get going and just move on. Don't look towards the past, you gotta groove on. You procrastinating now, you gotta get that motivation. I already created a track called Inspiration. Gotta get up, get going and get fucking hype. Go.
Welcome, everybody, to Wrestling Talk Now. This is your boy, Justin JLB. I was muted. I am back, though, and this, of course, is Thursday Night Rundown. I am not alone. I am joined alongside with my amigos, my co-hosts, and yeah, so without further ado, let me introduce to you the crazy one, Kid Crazy. How goes it, good sir?
Pretty good, pretty good. I'm enjoying the wrestling we've been seeing recently and the drama surrounding all the wrestling. So it's time for the rundown. Let's do it.
Fair enough. And of course, we also got the man of the hour himself with Sling and All, Mr. Big Red. How goes it, good sir?
It's going. You know, one arm and all.
One arm and all. That's it. And he's look at that, and he's a trooper. He's still here to run it all down with us. What a week in wrestling. Good, bad, and ugly. We will break it, run it down all for you right now. And of course, we start off with the breaking news. And I guess we'll start off with the unfortunate news of the passing of Jay Briscoe, who passed away on Tuesday due to a car collision crash at the age of 38 years old. Jay Briscoe was in the car with two of his daughters who have been sent to the hospitals. One of his daughters does need surgery, some kind of surgery on her legs. And the other daughter seems to be in stable condition, but has also been moved to the hospital as well. There was a head-on collision while he was driving his daughters to some sort of recital that his daughter was going to. And unfortunately, the other car, part of the collision, had swerved into his lane and did a head-on collision. And reports had it that there was an entrapment. They were trapped in the car. Unfortunately, Jay Briscoe was not properly strained. So Jay Briscoe. Did I?
I said Jerry. It's okay.
Jay Briscoe. Jerry. Okay, I'm terribly sorry. Jay Briscoe was not properly restrained, so that would be maybe alluding to he perhaps was not wearing his belt or something along those lines. And unfortunately, they had died. He had died along with the other driver in the other car, had also died on impact, and his daughters were flown to the hospital. And this was just the news that we heard on Tuesday night. And there's been an outreach of superstars from all talks of the globe, from AEW, WWE, from all of the indie scenes to Impact. Nothing but the utmost respect and condolences. A total shock to the entire wrestling industry, completely. Um, and yeah, I don't know what else to say in that regard. Um,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
sad for someone to depart this world at such a young age, at 38 years old, in such a
yeah,
tragic way. Um, he was they had a pretty good year, I could say, maybe. Um,
Yeah.
since the pandemic, they had some of the matches of the year candidates. Probably all three of them with the FTR are matches of the year candidates.
right.
Apparently, Tony was trying to work in the back, I guess, backstage, trying to get Warner Brothers to kind of some way accept to have the Briscoes on TV, but didn't get the time he needed to get that done. And I think that's a loss for all wrestling fans,
Mhm.
um, because the Briscoes, even though what people might portray them as, or maybe judge them on their look, but from all I hear in the last 48 hours are only good things.
Yeah.
How nice Jay was. There was a testimony of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, but Kevin Owens said remembered specifically a moment in 2007 in ROH where it was basically their last chance with him and El Generico, who today is Sami Zayn, and basically it was their last chance to stay in the company. They had a tag match against the Briscoes, and the Briscoes were nothing but helpful in that situation, and they hit it out of the park. And he says we owe a big part of our career we owe to the Briscoes, so that was nice. It's a shame we weren't able to see more of them, and we won't be able to see more of them in the future. Jay was also, if I'm not mistaken, Jay was also the one that was ROH heavyweight champion. Also, if I'm not mistaken, right? He was the one that had
I
gone
believe so.
in a little of a singles push once upon a
Right.
time. So very sad news to hear for all the wrestling in the wrestling world. May you
Yeah.
rest in peace, Jay.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and it was the day before Mark's birthday as well.
Birthday.
In that regard, that this had happened, and Mark had just turned 38. Um, so that's got to be really tough. Thoughts and prayers and condolences go out to the entire Briscoe family. Um, just what a such a tragedy, and yeah. Tony Khan did mention as well that he would be filming a tribute show for Jay
Mm-hmm.
Briscoe after AEW Dynamite or after Rampage, the filming of
Rampage.
Rampage, to show tribute to Jay Briscoe, and along doing other stuff for the first Ring of Honor show, as well as their Supercard of Honor pay-per-view of some sort of memorial that they will do there in honor of Jay Briscoe and the entire Briscoe family. And yeah, just everyone is just pouring out with, condolences. And yeah, he sounded like a really cool dude with what KO said and all that. And they were nothing but genuine, nice guys. Jim Cornette usually has nothing good to say about anybody, but has even mentioned that these guys were what they portrayed on screen. They are who they are. They're genuine to themselves. And he was, he would always have Jay Briscoe would always have his family come with him to the shows and all that. So very family oriented, always wanting them to be part of what he was doing when they could come. So just very tragic news. And yeah, uh, we wish them, the Briscoes, the Briscoe family, nothing but our dearest, deepest condolences. And I don't know. It's hard when something like that happens. You'll never know what they're going through in that
Right.
regard. And with Mark's future in the wrestling business, because a lot of people said the Briscoes were, but Mark We'll see what Mark is gonna do in the future, but they were so close. I don't see maybe Mark doing anything for quite a while, maybe in the wrestling business. It's too hard. They were a year apart. Um, they were a year apart, and
Mm.
yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I'm just lost for words in that regard, and it's a very hard thing to report, and very tragic. Uh, but ultimately, um, we will still keep posting all of the condolences that everyone around the wrestling industry is giving, because it's nothing but kind words through and through. Adam Pierce, um, everyone's Briscoes have worked with everybody from everywhere. A lot of people, they were mainly indie guys, mainly ROH guys for the most part, but they were part of the indie scene through and through. They've worked literally every federation in the indie scenes, and so they legit worked with everybody in the wrestling business for the most part, and really cemented their legacy. For a lot of the tag teams now, they looked up to the Briscoes for doing what they did, just being part of the indie scene. So, their legacy will live on in that regard as well. So at least there is that. But yeah, just tough news to report, and just thoughts and prayers go out to the entire Briscoe family.
Very well said.
So
Moving on.
Yeah, well, that's a horrible segue, but for sure, that we could do it that way because I didn't know how to do it. With that, in terms of other breaking news, I guess it would segue into AEW Dynamite was yesterday. We saw the picture that we also just posted. It's all good. The picture that was just posted on we did the memoriam for Jay Briscoe. We saw the wrestlers wear the armband for Jay. But also, it turns out a lot of people were wondering why it wasn't a Jay Briscoe memorial show kind of thing. And it turns out that Warner Brother Discovery did not want to do a memorial show for the Briscoes or Jay Briscoe. That's reported. I find it
blows my mind.
A bit odd. Originally, right, we had reported a while ago that Warner Media did not want the Briscoes in AEW because of the homophobic comments that he did like years ago that he has since apologized for. So many times over. So that I would get whatever. You don't want them. You don't want to create any kind of whatever. I don't agree with it, but it's your prerogative. It's your company. It's your TV station. So you don't want. Tony Khan found a way to keep them in ROH to do that. And then Tony Khan was going to do that. He was trying his darndest to secure a deal, but to not even attempt to do a memorial show, if that report is correct, is just
pathetic.
A bit off. Yeah, I don't. No one is gonna go into that thinking otherwise of the legacy that they've left in the ring, and not about something they did 10 years ago or something. But Tony Khan has mentioned that they filmed the show after Rampage, like we mentioned, and it's going to be on Honor Club for free. So it's not through a paywall or anything like that. And it will also be on YouTube. So he hasn't posted it yet, the show, but it was filmed yesterday. And that will be for all of the Briscoe fans. Apparently, all the ROH titles were put on the line as well, and a lot of wrestlers were also shown discussing about the Briscoes' legacy and about Jay Briscoe were filmed as well. So we should be getting that soon. And yeah, so I don't know. I like Big Red mentioned completely pathetic. I don't see why. I guess they wanted to still cement their ground on the fact that listen, we just don't want that name part of the company. They initially stopped Dana White's slap. What was it called?
Power Slap.
Power Slap to go on, but they seemingly put it on now after like 2 weeks of not doing the premiere of when it was supposed to be. So I don't know. I just think it's a bad call on their part. They're definitely going to get a lot of bad publicity from it now. If the report is right, I almost feel like it's not right. You know what I mean? I just don't want to think that Warner Media actually told them no. Because at the end of the day, you still had the graph go on in the intro. You still had the armbands. You still had them mention it on the show as well, of course. So that name is still going to be, people are still going to go Google that name and so on and so forth if they don't know about it. One, anyone who's watching AEW already knows about it. Of what went on, and they did it for Brody Lee 2 years ago, and yeah, so here's to hoping that report isn't correct, but it is a bit ridiculous if it is. When something like that, I get their stance of them not wanting them just because they're maybe a bit too hardcore and whatever too, and the comments and whatever. Okay, fine. You know what I mean? But with the passing of Jay Briscoe, I think that is a bit much. No one's thinking of that at that time. Everyone's going to remember him as a good guy. And everything he's left in that rings, and it ultimately would have cemented his legacy. But it is what it is, and Tony found a way to at least give the fans who love the Briscoes at least somewhere to watch the memorial show that he initially had planned. And yeah, but here's the hoping that report isn't right, because I don't want to think that a TV company, media company would be that.
Unfortunately, I don't see how it could be. I can't confirm if it's true or not, but I don't see them. I don't see it being a lie or not true, because then why wouldn't Tony do the memorial? I guess it makes sense, and it stays. It stays to what the reports we have seen coming from that situation, that subject coming from Warner Brothers. So it's just what has been happening with Warner. I'm disappointed because, like you said, Jay, I agree with them being allowed to take this stance before the accident. Whatever, it's their network, their TV station. They have a right to choose who's going to be on their TVs, on their network. I mean, so I'm okay with that. That's part of business. It's like that. But you don't want to have that backlash or that the indignation of all these people getting offended by having a Jay Briscoe on Warner Television. But now, after this accident, after the tragic death, I don't see how that would have been. There would have been this big backlash, because you're honoring somebody that passed away in a tragic car accident because of some comments he said 10 years ago on social media. So I think they're going to have more backlash now by not allowing them to do it than if they would have hired them and let them be on TV. So I think it's try to watch my words here. I think it's a cowardly move by Warner Brothers, and hopefully they'll change their stance on this eventually and permit at least some kind of way to honor Jay Briscoe the way he deserves to be honored on AEW television. That's it.
Or even, I mean, and they if they see that the backlash is strong, they could maybe easily take what Tony Khan is going to film and also maybe put that on like at some point, maybe before a Dynamite or something, or after Rampage or something like that. That could be something they can very well do, but unfortunately, a little too late in that regard. Tony Khan found a way where he's going to get that out there, and kudos to Tony for certainly doing so. I'm certainly looking. I guess looking forward isn't the right way thing to say in that regard, but I am. Now I feel like a complete asshole. Not looking forward, but I'm just to kind of at least see in terms of how they truly memorialize him in that regard. We saw the Brody, how they did it with the Brody AEW show, and that was just done with nothing but with respect and so well. Just it's gonna make us feel a lot more with what the wrestlers are feeling, because we're gonna definitely see it on that memorial show, and it's gonna hit home a lot more. I feel for us, so kudos to Tony for doing that regardless, and that was roughly a 6-hour show that they did yesterday then, so kudos to Tony doing that, because that's the ultimate respect you can give to someone who's dedicated 20 plus years to your business.
Yeah, we saw in Matt Jackson's face yesterday the emotion he had and the love he had for Jay Briscoe here. So hopefully it's that kind of a feel we'll get from the tribute show, with even emotions running wild.
Even I forgot his name, the announcers from NXT, when they announced it, it was
Booker T, yes.
Booker T, yeah, and what's his? I was shocked.
Yeah, that was also what's his name, Vic Joseph, no?
The Vic Joseph, that's it. That's the name I was looking for.
Also, kudos to Triple H for allowing them to give some kind of tribute there to Jay. Like Justin was saying, everybody he was known, even though they were in the indie wrestlers, or known as indie wrestlers. They were known by a lot and majority of wrestlers around North America. So it was nice of Triple H to honor him, and to also pass because they also put not the banner, but the memoriam on the screen, right? So kudos to Triple H for honoring.
Did they?
Jake.
Well, when would they have?
No, they didn't. The NXT just announced it.
NXT just announced it. Okay, so maybe that's
AEW put the image.
Maybe AEW put the image. Maybe on SmackDown we'll also see that happen. But NXT, it was just happening while NXT was going on, and the reports and all that. So maybe on SmackDown and Raw too next week they will showcase that. But
so. A little segue here to try to move on respectfully. I saw. What do you guys think about the rumor of Vince McMahon showing up on Monday at Raw 30?
I saw that. Could he show up even though he's getting sued?
I feel like he could definitely show up.
Oh, he could definitely show up for sure. He's a chairman.
He's gonna show
I
up.
think he's going to show up. I think he's going to show up. There's no freaking way that he's not going to show up. Are you kidding me? We're definitely going to see Vince McMahon on our screen. All these legends? What
the man
bigger
who
legend?
Started off Raw?
Yeah, a man who gave them these legends their legendary status? Are you kidding me? Vince is definitely going to be showing up.
Especially with the video we saw. The video we saw.
I'm kind of fucking excited. I'm kind of excited for it. I'm not gonna lie, because that's gonna. I'm such a desperate housewife in that regard. You know what I mean? I'm excited for it. I'm here for it. Like, give me all this gossip. Spill those beans, because, man, is that going to create so much heat. And Vince is there for it. And you know what? So am I. Like, I'm ready for it. If Vince doesn't show up on Raw, I'm going to be pissed now.
Well, Hogan's showing up.
I mean, Hogan could not show up. I'd be, I'm going to be pissed regardless if Vince doesn't show up, because Hogan's going to be on my freaking screen. Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I don't see how he doesn't show up.
No, he shows up.
That's it.
Even if he just says those 3 little words, he's going to show up.
That might be the only thing he does. Raw opens up with him in the middle of the ring, and he just says, "Welcome to Monday Night Raw." And then they cut to a video package, and he leaves. But knowing Vince, he might. Well, actually, that's knowing Vince. He probably something he would do just like that, because we did see at the beginning of the video package promoting the 30 years of Raw. It started off with "Welcome to Monday Night Raw."
He probably might say something like, "Did you miss me?"
It was like an Easter egg they were putting there for us to start expecting.
Was that the Ruthless Aggression theme? With the Ruthless Aggression with the new superstars?
Mm-hmm. I think it was. Yes.
It's better what they have. It's better. Cool. It's better what. That's better than what they have now.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, it's just because that theme song is just freaking. Look at the gods. You know what I mean? That theme song is freaking epic. Heck, I wouldn't even be surprised if they even have one for like the Raw is War theme.
I think they did.
The old school one, the Warzone.
Yeah, of course.
So they're probably going to do all of them.
That's the one with that's the one that Austin's walking through the explosion, right?
Well, that's one of them. I think that was the Warzone one, and then there was like another one for the first hour or something. Yeah. So, and that's gonna be pretty crazy. I hope we see
Raw Triple X or Raw
Triple X
or
that's
Raw
right.
30.
It's not a parody porn, ladies and gentlemen. It's actually Raw 30th anniversary. Just so you know.
That's what I was gonna say. Now I can't say it because it would be too bluntly. But will it have more of a Triple X Vin Diesel feel, or will it have more of a more Attitude Era? What's her name? Sable feel.
I hope it's a Sable feel.
I'd hope they go to the Attitude. I don't see it. I think it's gonna be a Vin Diesel Triple X. Bull bananas.
What do you mean by Vin Diesel Triple X though?
Over exaggerated PG.
Over-exaggerated. Basically.
So basically, Fast and Furious.
Basically, anything Vin Diesel does, we could have just said Vin Diesel and not Triple X, and still be the same. But
I'm surprised they're doing it in Philly. I thought they're really going to do it at.
They're doing it in Pittsburgh.
No, it's Philly.
Pittsburgh.
Philly.
I feel like we have to check because I think I heard
it's Pittsburgh. It's in Kurt Angle's town.
No, it's in Kurt Angle's state.
Oh, snap.
It's in Philly.
I think I heard Philly. I'm not 100% sure, but I think I heard Philly.
No, that's
how much because what Jonathan I think was about to say, Big Red there, I think was why didn't they go get the Manhattan Center?
Like they did last time.
Yeah. Which was the 25-year anniversary, right?
Right.
Yeah, but I guess it's a small venue, and I think it doesn't even fit. I guess it doesn't even fit 5,000 people, so you don't. But yeah, it would have been cool. Last time they did it there 5 years ago, it was kind of nostalgic. There, it was a fun little thing. I think we're gonna have a fun. I think it's probably gonna be the most viewed Raw of the year. Well, of the year. We're at the beginning of the year, but of the last year. And I think we're gonna be good. It's really a shame. I'm really disappointed that Tatanka can't make it.
Are you being serious? Or I don't know.
Obviously,
no, that's pure sarcastic. I mean, he did mention it though. I mean, kudos to Tatanka. I'm like, okay, cool story, bro. I wasn't thinking you were gonna be there anyways, but now I know. Food for thought. All right. Fun fact.
We missed a big one there. Yeah. But it should be cool. There's some cool stars that are gonna be there. I think we're gonna have some cool matches. I like that it's not gonna be completely legend oriented. Like we're gonna have some good matches there.
Yeah, so we're gonna have WWE United States Champion Austin Theory will defend against Bobby Lashley because Bobby Lashley won the
six pack,
the 6-man on Raw.
Yeah,
and then this is what I'm kind of looking for: every generation of the bloodline. So the Anoa family
it's gonna be the acknowledgement. Yeah,
the acknowledgement ceremony. I'm excited for that.
Do you think
Alpha's going to be there for sure? Sika, I guess.
Samu and Rikishi are going to be there. Confirmed, at least.
Confirmed.
Do you think
The Rock isn't going to show up?
I think he will.
I think he's going to show up on that
at
day.
least via satellite or something.
And probably he doesn't believe. This guy does not believe he's going to show up.
Well, there's a strong possibility. I don't think he'll be there. But via satellite or a video
via satellite, fine.
Or a pre-recorded video package, something like that. It does fit the story here about the acknowledgement and all those past legends in that family. So it does make sense. Well, does that mean it will be the start of a build-up for something else? That I wouldn't count on it. I wouldn't bet a lot of money on that.
Or they could also
but some video package. I really don't doubt that.
Or it could also be Roman saying, "Where's my cousin Dwayne?"
Yeah, he doesn't acknowledge me. Yeah, something like that. That can go.
And then Sunday he shows up. He goes, "Here I am."
Yeah, there's a possibility there. I think, like I just said,
Sunday.
I don't know about the build-up.
Saturday, Royal Rumble's not this Saturday. Huh?
Next Saturday. Sorry,
next Saturday.
That's what I meant. I have time.
You have time.
So I think he probably, like I said, he'll show up a video package, and or he doesn't show up. I think, like Jonathan says, and it's kind of the start of a build-up. But I think he'll just be there.
Well, WWE has new merch for The Rock on the website.
Yep, saw that also. Yes, the Brahma Bull, the hoodies.
You smell that?
I don't think so. Though. I don't know, man. I don't see it. I hope I'm wrong. Like I'm wrong with the whole Cody Rhodes thing.
If he shows up at Rumble, I'm recording this and I'm posting it on our walls.
I mean, I feel like you do that anyways. I feel like you do that anyway.
It's a new era.
New era. Jesus. A new era of a Brahma Bull era. Yeah, I don't think people are still on the whole Royal Rumble thing. He's going to show up at number 30 in the Royal Rumble. I'm like, guys, no. I think if you are going to build up though, Rock and Roman, you're going to do it at Raw 30th though. I think that's the perfect way to do it. A Noah acknowledgement ceremony. It would be super epic if The Rock does come out and then totally disregards the entire ceremony and is like, what is this? Who in the blue hell are you? You know what I mean? Like he does a whole Rock spiel like that. I would freaking love. That would be crazy. I just don't.
And you'd say, "You're the head of the table. Who do you think this is? The kids' table? I'm the boss here." So
okay, wait. You randomly went Rick Ross there? Is that what happened?
Yeah. I'm the real head of the table. You're the head of the kids' table. I'm the head of this family. So.
But talking about the Rumble.
But I still don't think he will be in the Rumble because I still think, especially after this Monday where we saw this amazing, and congratulations, kudos to Jeremy Barash for these video packages the last few weeks on Cody's recovery. They have been gold. And with this past week on Raw being probably the best one of them, I am so hyped for Cody to enter number 1 or number 2 in the Rumble and win the Rumble.
Did he mention what he was going to enter in?
No, we don't know.
They just mentioned he was going to be in the Rumble, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We didn't mention what number he was going in. But I think it'll be one of the first 2. He'll go in there for 50 minutes about, more or less, and come out as champion. I do think it is a possibility that Rock shows up, but I don't think he will be in the Rumble.
Fair.
Rock might cost Owens. Roman's title.
Or Owens. You never know.
No, I think Owens wins the title at the.
That would be dope. Oh my god! And I'm going to be there for Elimination Chamber to see him defend it. I'm excited.
You set up a Kevin Owens versus Sami main event at the Elimination Chamber, which would raise the roof off of the bell
Right.
center, and probably that's the moment the bloodline turns on Sammy, because they don't want Sammy being
Anything can
champion,
happen in the world of wrestling.
especially in the WWE.
Talking
Anything can happen in the world of sports entertainment.
Zack Ryder.
Matt Cardona.
Yeah.
Matt Cardona
got-
trademarked Zack
Zack-
Ryder. Yeah.
So we're gonna see him at the Rumble.
Well, doesn't that,
well-
doesn't that trademark already belong to WWE?
Well, here's the thing,
yes.
right? So we all thought it did, and that's why he probably was using Matt Cardona when he left. So a few things. Maybe he's supposed to come back because his wife is now with WWE, right?
Yeah.
So maybe he's supposed to come back, and that was part of the negotiations. Maybe Matt Cardona saw that the Zack Ryder trademark expired, and he said, well, I'm just going to go grab it live right now. So it could be many things, but we do know that he officially had trademarked Zack Ryder under his name. So yeah, so at least and I could see Triple H, if he is coming back, because it would make sense for him to come back as well, and I could see Triple H maybe putting that as part of the negotiations too, like, hey, you know what, or whatever, Steph or Nick Khan, or I don't know who the hell Matt Cardona would be talking to go get back into the WWE anymore, but yeah, I can definitely see that as part of the negotiations for sure.
Well, that he always said that he would be open to coming back to WWE. So that's very strong. And he was like a loyal employee for many years. Never heard complaints.
Oh, but they did him so dirty though.
That's true.
When they fired him, I'm just like, man, like they
he was
fired
part of
him.
the-
I think
He was part of one of the layoffs, right? The releases.
The layoffs.
One of those big.
but then like a week later, they asked him if they could use his pool for something. Or
for a video, something. Yes, yeah.
I think it was. I don't know if it was for the Mandy Otis thing or it was something different. But they asked him if they could use his pool for something, and he was like, "What?"
I think they did end up using it.
Did they? Oh Jesus!
I
would
think
not
I
have
had heard
accepted
that they.
I think because his wife was still there though. Wasn't his wife still there? Someone was still there or something. So it was really weird because one of them got fired and the other one didn't. At first.
Yes. They didn't get fired on the same wave of releases. Yes.
Right.
So yeah, and he had his WrestleMania moment, right? Winning the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania.
Didn't he lose it the next day?
He was the internet champion. Well, the self-declared internet champion, which he was probably started the wave of people doing these side hustles on social media and on the internet. I think his what is it? Is this show on YouTube? Is Collectibles? No, was it about
yeah,
collectibles?
exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Was one of the first.
collectibles.
That was basically what made him very very popular or sought after in the internet. So and he has kind of been strong on the indie scene since he's left. Kind of created himself a gimmick, well, not a gimmick, because but like a strong presence. A lot of belts, won a lot of belts in different federations. So I'm all for the return of Zack Ryder to WWE.
Little breaking news. Casey Lee has gave birth to a baby boy.
Who in the blue hell is Casey Lee?
Sean Spears' wife.
Oh,
there we go. Oh, nice. Yeah, she was expecting it. They were expecting rather. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Nice to a
What's her
baby boy.
Yeah, Austin
what's
J.
her name? What's her name in
Casey Lee.
No, I know you just said that's her name, but I mean her wrestling name.
Casey Lee.
No,
In WWE, it was
isn't it Peyton Royce?
yes.
Okay.
In WWE, it was Peyton Royce. Yeah.
Okay. So just
Little boy named Justin J.
I had
Austin
the right
J.
person in my head. So yeah. So congratulations to the Spears family there on their welcoming a new child. So
Aussie.
good job. I guess that's about. Do we have any other breaking news? I think
Devon Dudley announced on Twitter that he has parted ways with WWE. So he's no longer working for the company anymore.
I didn't even know he was working for them.
Well, he's a producer. He's been a producer since 2016. And I think he was working the last few years. He was working with the NXT brand a lot. So he had mentioned that they parted ways. And thank you, Devon, for everything you've done all these years with the Dudley Boys and all that. And then, of course, still keeping with the WWE as a producer. It's been there for quite a while. So kudos to him. And he left on his terms. So that's dope.
I thought he had issues with WWE because he was supposed to go to an event. I forgot which one, and they said no because it was something about ECW or something like that. I don't know.
Well, but that makes sense. That's just Vince being Vince.
In the documentary that they did to honor, I think it's the 25 years of ECW. He's not there, so it's Taz, which very surprisingly he was there. And I think it was right before AEW started, so I think it was 2018.
Okay.
But Taz was there, obviously Paul Heyman,
Dreamer,
Tommy Dreamer, and the other Bubba
Ray.
Yeah, Bubba Ray.
Bubba.
So it was actually a good documentary. So if you guys were interested in ECW,
I saw that.
ECW, it's a cool. They tell stories basically. They're sitting behind in a desk, all four of them, and they just tell stories. Seems
is it a WWE thing?
Yeah, it's a WWE thing.
Wasn't Rob Van Dam on that? No, that was something else. I know what you're talking about.
Rob wasn't there and Devon wasn't there.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
I saw that maybe a few months ago, and it's a cool. They tell cool stories. Fun. Has a different feel than a usual WWE documentary. It has that ECW feel, and you feel a bit that they keep on joking around with Taz. So I don't know if that's an inside joke that comes from them, but it's an entertaining documentary.
I was a big ECW guy.
Well, to be honest, I never really watched. I watched a few pay-per-views. I never watched their weekly shows.
Not me.
But I watched some pay-per-views, and obviously I really like the not the first invasion angle, because who the fuck gives a fuck about Blue Meanie? But
how dare you, BWO for life.
Leave Steven Richards.
The second part, there was
a second.
Well, the invasion, with Rob Van Dam.
Okay, you're talking about the invasion in 96, or you're talking about the silly
when Rob Van Dam,
WCW ECW invasion in 2001.
When Rob Van Dam became Mr. Monday Night. So
Rob Van Dam was Mr.
Extreme.
Okay, well,
you guys are confusing me.
Yeah, you're confusing. Okay, because keep in mind, the WWE's ECW is totally fucking different from the legit ECW. It's not the same.
No, I'm not talking about the Wednesday night show.
So you're talking about 2001. You're talking about when the. You're talking about.
So 96 is the Blue Meanie, the BWO, where Al and all those guys. Yeah. And then the second time when it was Taz, Rob Van Dam, those guys came. That was more of that time period was where ECW was at its peak.
You're talking about when they did the one night stand stuff and all that.
Yeah, that was 2 years later, but yeah.
Okay.
Right before that, yes. Exactly.
Okay.
Because one night stand, that was good. That was a good pay-per-view also. And the way, kudos to John Cena for taking that heat during that fucking pay-per-view, man.
No, he did it like a champ. He knew what was up, and he was just went into the ring. He's like, whatever, guys, hate me all you want. So it would have been around 99 then, because that's when the Dudley Boys came into play as well.
Yeah, that makes sense. So
the whole stuttering angle and all that.
That was when ECW and WCW came in. Okay.
Yeah. No. So that was WCW was 2001 though.
Yeah, exactly. So I think JLB, the timeline is more around JLB. The first time they came, 99. The Dudleys came, and then after when they bought WCW, they did the whole invasion angle with Shane and Stephanie and all that.
Yeah,
but that was like a year, maybe two.
That was the later. Hot Stephanie.
But 99, when the first the what do they call it? The Mount Rushmore of ECW came. So the Dudleys,
Right.
the Rob Van Dam, and the Taz. When Taz used to come with the towel on top of his head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The suplex.
Beat me
suplex
if you
machine.
can. Survive if I let you.
But I don't understand how, like, he never broke someone's neck. Those suplexes were wow.
He's a machine.
And I thought every time I see somebody land on their neck, I'm like, oh, he just broke their neck. Oh, but he did it perfectly to make it look authentic and without hurting them. So yeah, that was a good time for Devon. Devon was an important part of that era. Also, these guys are what. Maybe not anymore because New Day has surpassed them, but I think they're the most after New Day, the most decorated tag team in WWE. So that's a lot. That's a lot for Devon and Bubba Ray, and to not forget that was a part of their history. There is one of my favorite of all time, Spike Dudley.
Spike.
Yeah, Spike Dudley, and you can't believe what?
I can't believe Spike was actually a real a teacher, I don't know if it was a high school or elementary.
Yeah, exactly. I think it was a high school teacher.
The guy used to get destroyed by everybody. I saw some clips of back in the ECW days where this guy's getting ripped, man, thrown from the top of the balcony onto a set of tables. You think, God, this guy died, but no, man. So I really liked Spike because as a smaller guy. You saw Spike, you're like, oh fuck, if he can hang over there with these fucking guys, then maybe one day I can, and maybe that helped give confidence to some of this
like to a Darby. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Darby, exactly. For these guys that are smaller, but can hang and can go, and are also entertaining. So Spike maybe was a precursor to these wrestlers we're seeing nowadays, the smaller batch of wrestlers. Mm-hmm. So kudos for Devon. Will we see Devon in Impact and rejoin Bully there?
Are they in talking terms?
I think Bully right now is on one of his best runs of his career right now.
Oh really? Okay, I have to definitely.
Him and Scott D'Amore
now that Frankie Kazarian just signed an Impact deal. He had left WWE on AEW rather on good terms, and we saw Frankie Kazarian at Hard to Kill, Impact's little pay-per-view, I guess, because it was a Thursday, no. So Hard to Kill show, Friday, Hard to Kill show, and he basically mentioned that he signed a long-term deal and that he was here on Impact, where it's his home. So kudos to Frankie, because honestly, I don't know what else he was going to do in AEW aside from little things here or there.
He had talks with WWE, technically.
He did also apparently have little talks with WWE, see what they can give him, but he was probably like,
And Devon and Bubba Ray are in talking terms? I thought they weren't talking.
Oh, I see. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I remember that was a thing for a bit, absolutely. But I mean, we've seen this in the past, and people make amends, so we'll see.
And if it can draw money, if it can draw money, sometimes money fixes a lot of things. So
that's very true. That's very true.
I think Bubba looks great. Looks in probably one of his better shapes of his career.
Oh no, they're in talking terms.
Okay. The promos with Scott D'Amore back and forth are gold.
I don't know if you see, but Bubba Ray just posted this on his Instagram.
Okay, so there we go.
Well, I mean, that doesn't mean they're in talking terms. That means he's just paying respect to Devon because of his career.
It's saying TikTok MF.
I told you, motherfuckers. TikTok. Bubba, the Dudley Boys will be back.
Dudley Boys, for sure. I mean, if Impact could, I don't think Devon could do anything though. The guy just had hip surgery or something. No.
Yeah, I think, but that's why I think in a tag team kind of situation, maybe where he could be protected, might work. Okay, you definitely won't see him flying from the third rope and headbutt on the balls.
No what's upping. That's not happening.
What's up?
No
Yeah.
what's
But maybe in some kind of protected way, you could have maybe a hot tag or something, a few clotheslines, a few punches, and they could. I'm sure they could work around it. Hey, listen, if Sting can go on the way he's been doing and those bumps he's been taking, because he's had hip replacement surgery also. I think I think Devon can hang for in a protected environment, obviously, because I think he's a bit more. How do you say in French? You say magané. He's a bit more. It's a bit more used, I guess, or damaged. Damaged.
Oh, back surgery. Excuse me, not hip, but back surgery.
Oh, he had back surgery. Devon,
successful back surgery, which is obviously good, but yeah. So that's kind of the thing. So yeah, because I remember he was saying on some kind of I think it was Table Talk. He does this Table Talk podcast. And then he had successful back surgery, but and he mentioned the damage was like up his spine as well, and that's why he initially needed the surgery to fuse L4 and L5 and L6. So I don't know. I don't see him wrestling, bro. I don't know. That's a bit crazy. Yeah, but I mean, he can still show up and whatever, and maybe hey Devon, get the tables. Okay, he lays the table so Bubba can do a few moves or something. You know what I mean? Like
one way or another, I think we'll see him. Maybe not in a wrestling context, but probably an appearance here. There's I don't see why, and maybe even hired by Impact to be one of the producers backstage. So that's very possible because I don't think Bully or Bubba here is kind of a backstage. It doesn't have a backstage role here in Impact. I think it's just as a TV talent. But I could see Devon doing it because he's had that experience, like you said, since 2016. So that's quite a few years of experience as a producer in the top wrestling company in the world. So I think that has value for companies like Impact and stuff like that. So thanks for all the great years, Devon, and hopefully it's not the end for you. So do we have any more breaking news, or I think that's
no, I think that's kind of it. That's pretty much it. That's all I got, at least.
Let's go for the rundown. So we'll start off with SmackDown, I guess. I'm really having a hard time with Rampage recently. I don't know. I've been a hard time to watch it. Not hard time watching it. It's been hard for me to watch, to catch it. Since it's not on the TSN, it really fucks up the whole schedule after of me watching. So I'm gonna try to catch up. So I did go through it fast there on the computer, but not enough to really put out an opinion on each individual match. But I still took notes, so I'm still good for that. So let's start off with SmackDown. Gunther versus Braun Strowman. Definitely outdid.
These guys work good for it. Yeah, they work really well together.
Yep.
They really do. Like, it was a fun match.
Yeah, you see Braun being a bigger dude, but he can hang, man. He could move. He's agile, and it made for a very good match. I wasn't expecting Braun to win here or anything, because I think, like I said a few weeks ago, I think Gunther is going to go for a long run. They want to establish Gunther as one of the best Intercontinental champions of all time. So to do that, he needs to go on a long run. But that was I really enjoyed the match. Do you guys think this is the last we'll see between these two, or maybe there's a pay-per-view match in the future for these two?
I think there might be a pay-per-view match.
I would hope it's a solo.
Yeah, but didn't Ricochet get involved?
Yes,
he came solo match.
Yes. Okay.
A one-time deal. A one-dance.
A one-time deal. Not to be confused with Solo Sikoa. It's a totally different Solo.
No.
Or Han Solo, for that matter, because, we randomly talk about Star Wars. But they worked really well together. I think there was a positive vibe on it. I'm trying to figure out what happened at the end. Viewers, Bill spread Braun Strowman more conjunction one thing. Okay. Yeah, was there anything else that like what because he won cleanly, no?
Well, Brett. Braun went for a superplex, but Gunter hit an arm breaker and a chop before getting Strowman and hitting a shooter bomb on Strowman for the pinfall win and hard fought title retention. Not my words.
There you go. No, definitely not. I was like, damn, you're gonna just put that on your notes like that? I'm like, shit, you're in the wrong industry, buddy.
But yeah, so that was basically how it ended. I don't remember now quickly off the top of my head. I don't remember being somebody coming and something happening. I think they went to a commercial, and then when they came back, it was Sami Zayn trying to get into the locker room of the Bloodline, and Paul Heyman telling him they weren't here.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't remember there being like interference. I do remember seeing Ricochet, like you said, but I don't know if it was in that segment. I think it was for might have been in another segment. I'm not sure because I don't have it here in my notes, and
I don't have Ricochet either.
So I don't. Maybe it was in another segment. We watch so much wrestling, so maybe
it was last week or something. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it could very well be. Yeah, then yeah, so that was a good match. Then we have this thing. Well, they made it look. Well, Paul Heyman made it look to Sammy that the guys weren't there, so Sammy had kind of a free was free to fight Kevin Owens on his own, and there would be no interference. But we knew that wasn't going to happen. So
did we
later? What do you mean?
Well, I mean, no, because the whole thing was like it was like they were punishing him. Right?
Yeah.
So I thought more like, okay, it's going to be Sammy versus KO. But this is a great way to build up that feud of them not believing in Sammy because Sammy looked like he almost had it. And then out come all the Usos to attack KO, and thus the match is over. But Sammy literally had it in his fingertips to win that match. But so that's kind of a good way to still continue on that trend of either Sammy potentially turning or them turning on Sammy. Because either A, he doesn't believe that Sammy could have beat him, or B, he doesn't believe that, or he just doesn't believe in Sammy, period. So,
yeah,
you know, great fucking
because
match.
he was in the process. Yeah, it was a very good match. And then it's like when you put Sammy and KO in the ring together, you're like guaranteed success. So there's not much to work around there. But true. Yeah, Sammy was on his way preparing for the haluva kick. So
it was almost over.
He had him. It was almost over. So it's like if it was a punishment. I completely agree with JLB here. It's like if they kept him from winning, right? They didn't want him to have that victory over Kevin. They wanted to punish him for basically taking the pin against John Cena and Kevin. So so yeah, that was kind of makes it look. It's telling the story. It's telling the story, and the story is moving forward about this eventual breakup with the Bloodline and the honorary use. So I have no problem with that. I really enjoy how they're handling this this storyline. So that's what he said. Zayn told Heyman he would handle Kevin Owens, and it was not a prediction, it was a spoiler. So he used the Paul Heyman line on Paul.
That's
so I found that cool. Yeah, Rey Mysterio. Then after, what do you guys think about this whole Rey Mysterio Karrion Kross storyline here?
I didn't know it was a storyline.
Yeah, but I found out last week when I saw Karrion attack somebody and call out Rey to the camera after he was attacking.
I didn't pay attention. I was like, "What? When did you attack him?" I'm like, "When did this?" They're like, "Oh, he's been harassing Rey for weeks now." I'm like, "What? He has? When? Where? What?
Yeah.
Was this a Twitter thing?"
No, it was like really short segment.
Yeah,
but
okay.
Yeah. If you're not paying attention completely, man, it's easy to miss. Easy to miss.
There
the
goes
storyline. Easy to
me
miss.
In a nutshell. So, whoop.
Especially considering that we also had the sidebar storyline where Dominic went to go visit Mysterio Rey for what was it, Christmas when he got arrested? Yeah.
Yeah.
So so there's like this like it's easy to get confused. Like, is Ray still in the storyline with Dominic? What's his storyline going on in SmackDown? Well, we end up finding out that the storyline on SmackDown is with Karrion Kross. So I guess did they announce a match for Rumble or not yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
No.
Not yet.
There's a
Was it for the Rumble elimination match?
No.
No, I don't think so.
There's only 4 matches so far for the Rumble.
No, but I think what Jay's saying is their match was it a qualifying match for?
No.
Yeah.
No. It's an actual storyline.
Yeah. And how far has? Because Karrion Kross came back in the company with the whole sand hourglass, tick-tock for Roman Reigns, and now you're fighting Rey Mysterio. Not to take anything away from Rey Mysterio, but like what happened with his quest for the title there, I think he went down the card pretty quickly.
I think that Drew storyline really fucked him over. No fault of Drew there, but I think that storyline really just did too many matches, and none of them were none of them were great.
It doesn't help that you have one superstar with both main titles.
Well, yes, it's true. It does hinder. It does hinder a bit of the options. Yeah. But you know,
why give me a promo of him going after Roman, the whole TikTok thing with the hourglass, and then totally not mention it anymore, and then you're facing Drew randomly? You know what I mean?
Things change.
Because Drew, I'm okay with facing Drew, because Drew is a top guy. So you beat Drew, it establishes you as a top guy. But I completely agree with JLB here. I think it wasn't booked properly. Those fights that with Drew, and it really hurt Karrion. Obviously, it didn't hurt Drew because Drew is already established, like I said. So Drew can move on like he's just doing now with Sheamus, and he'll be fine. But Karrion does need more of a little push yet because he's not an established star like Drew. Drew's over with the crowd. It's not to say Karrion is not over, but maybe not as known to the casual fan. So you need to establish him as a star, and they haven't been able to do it. But what's her name? Scarlett did impress me in the ring in that mixed match last week. It wasn't this week, last week. So she can also go. So I'm interested in seeing more of Scarlett.
Same here.
But it's something. I don't know if it's weird, but even with the hair, it doesn't it seems out of place. I don't know. He seemed more dangerous with a shaved head, I guess. But
no, that's
it does look weird, and hopefully they could fix this because I think Karrion Kross can be an asset to WWE. He can get over. I think he has that potential. They just need to book it correctly.
Right. Yeah. Right now he's just an entrance. You know what I mean? Like his entrance is fire. It's amazing. But then after that, it's just kind of like, I don't know. You're just kind of generic for some reason. I know you're better than this. I've seen you be better than this. But for some reason, you just come off as very generic in the ring. And it's just very weird because you've done some phenomenal matches back in NXT. And now I'm seeing you do really lackluster matches for some odd reason. Possibly because you're not booked into a great storyline. That could be a thing, but I don't know. There's something missing there. Or
because
maybe there's
his
something...
MMA background, everything. There's something to work with. His look, his entrance, his manager, his valet, whatever you want to call it. There's the elements are there for him to have success. You just need to book it correctly. And I know it's hard. You can't always, you can't always get everything. What did they say? The baseball analogy. You can always be hitting for 1,000, right? So you're gonna fuck some things up, and it's just up to you to fix them. So you see it's not working, try something else. Maybe a strong match with Ray can do that because Ray is a guy that can help you elevate you in the ring, no doubt about that.
Right.
They just need to book it better and have this great match. Hopefully they'll do that soon. So that was Karrion Kross. Then we had
make him go against Gunther or something. You know what I mean? Make him
that
go
would
for
be
a
good.
title.
That would be
That'd be, that might be really fun.
Yeah. Give us. Yeah, I'm down with that. Transition. Yeah, transition that hourglass to focus to Gunther, and maybe tell a story where you're chasing Gunther and Gunther thinks you're not worthy of a title shot or something like that, and work yourself up, and then have a banger with with Gunther, because Gunther doesn't have anything else but bangers. So
that's it. Haven't seen one not banger yet.
No,
Banger
not
over
since he's
banger.
Intercontinental Champion. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Side note. I got a side note before I forget, because I don't want to forget this after. But that segment with I don't know if it was on Raw or it was on SmackDown. That's why I don't have it in my notes. But with Sheamus and Drew, where
SmackDown.
they're figuring it was on SmackDown, right? And they're
With
trying to
with
figure out
with Adam Pearce.
figure out a name. They're trying to figure out a name for their tag team. And
Talking about the Banger Bros?
The Banger Bros. That was hilarious. And
I thought that was a slip up. I think it was Corey Graves who said it, or if it was Michael Cole, and I was like, I don't think that's their name, though. That's just weird. Because I just thought they mentioned that because they just didn't have a name for him, and they kept on saying Banger, so the Banger Bros. And I was like, okay, because you don't know what to call them, sure. But is that legit their name?
I don't think so. I think they were just throwing out names like that. And I guess they wanted.
I'm gonna put Banger Bros on Google with WWE, and hopefully I don't get some random stupid shit.
No, you'll definitely get some random stupid shit.
No, I'm gonna put WWE. I'm gonna put WWE.
Oh, okay. You're gonna put WWE. Okay.
Yeah, where else you're gonna?
Aware that Banger Bros sounds like an adult film. WWE is well aware that Sheamus and Drew McIntyre's tag team name sounds dirty. So
they are named the Banger Bros.
They are named the Banger Bros.
Okay.
Not only have Sheamus and McIntyre poked fun at their collective new name on social media, but according to a recent edition of Wrestling Observer Radio, it's known internally in WWE that the name Banger. It's known internally in WWE that the name Banger Bros might have commotions with a very different industry in the minds of some fans. However, whether WWE will decide to switch the name is yet to be determined. So they've noticed it. They're just not sure what they're going to do.
I don't see how around sitting in the writers' meeting.
Oh, no. They're called... No. Okay, it is Banger Bros. They were just mentioning it's related to Bang Bros. Okay, cool. No. Okay, yeah, of course.
Because I can't imagine sitting around at a writers' meeting. Somebody goes, "Oh, what are we gonna name Sheamus and Drew?" Well, Banger Bros, and nobody said, "Guys, you guys realize what Banger Bros is?" So that obviously they knew. They thought it was going to be a nice, funny moment, I guess. Right. A nice wink at the fans, because they're knowing that now these fans are going to put, let's say, they're going to go Google search Banger Bros, and you're going to get some girls wild there.
I don't think, though. If you Google Banger Bros, Bang Bros for sure, but I feel like if you Google Banger Bros, you won't. I feel like that might. I'm doing it, guys. I'm doing it. And here's to hoping the cops don't randomly need to search my stuff and.
But I because I think the name of the website is called Banger Bros.
Bang Bros. It's Bang Bros. No, but the first you get is Pornhub though.
Well, because yes, I think there's
and then you get you just get a bunch of porn.
Yeah, that's what it is. So yeah, I thought that was fucking hilarious. I also like them back and forth of them slapping each other, like as they're giving each other compliments.
And then I'm like, are you guys gonna feud now? But then that's just that's just toughing them up. Yeah, right. Like you did that. I especially liked when you did this and you said that. That was very good. And I was like,
yeah.
But they're Irish and Scottish. That's what they do.
Exactly. Establishes them as the tough guys, So it's all good and fun. Then we had Shia Lee versus Tegan Knox. Nothing of interest there for nothing. Maybe other than the T-bone. I wrote here T-bone suplex from Shia Lee. I always like the T-bone suplex, which was I think made famous by Taz. if I'm not mistaken, and now is used also by Hook. Hook also has a nice T-bone suplex.
Yeah.
So other than that, I think nothing of interest here. For that match, Tegan Knox does get the pinfall here. Viking Raiders, okay, promo, whatever. They called out Drew, the Banger Bros. I'm definitely going to keep on using that name.
Of course you are.
Yeah, they called out the Banger Bros that they would. So I guess we're starting to see more of the Viking Raiders getting into the top tier of tag team. So I think they are future champions in the very close future. I think the the Viking Raiders are future champions.
That's a nice name, actually, Viking Kings.
I like more War Raiders. Their name in New Japan,
sure.
but yeah, okay, I get why they wouldn't want to use that name. Yeah, so imagine that match: Viking Raiders versus the Banger Bros. Oh, that will be a physical one.
That will be a good one. Yeah, absolutely.
There'll be a banger.
And it would at least give Viking Raiders. I feel like Viking Raiders aren't doing anything right now. Like they're dominating, but no one's caring. So I feel like if you do go, is that supposed to be set up? No, that's not a thing that they're doing yet, right?
What do you mean?
Viking Raiders versus Banger Bros?
Well, they are. Adam
called
Pearce
them out.
announced. Yes, they called them out, and then Adam Pearce announced that they would face the Banger Bros in the as part of the tournament to determine the number one contenders for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships.
Oh snap!
So,
Okay.
so that's a way where they could get one of the belts away from the Usos, because we have on the other side on Raw, we have them fighting Judgment Day, fighting for the red tag titles. Now we're having a number one contender tournament for the blue brand tag team.
Did you notice that they changed the name of Judgment Day?
What do you mean they changed the name?
What do you mean?
To what?
The way they spell it's now with the day is not with a Y, it's with an E now.
I didn't even notice.
Are you sure your screen wasn't cut or something?
I'm sure they even made a report on it on a dirty sheet.
On a dirty sheet.
I guess why would they do that though?
Yeah, that wouldn't make any sense. I feel like your dirty sheets that you
unless it's a copyright thing, but I would think they have the copyrights to that. They used to be a pay-per-view, right? So I don't know. It seems weird. But would you have guys rather see? Would you have rather seen Finn with Priest or Dominic?
What?
Like, because the tag team that that started off with as being Dominic and started off with Finn, but then Finn I think got hurt or something.
Oh, he got hurt. Yes,
and then we ended up putting Dominic and now Dominic and Priest are that tag team I think that are going to be challenging for the tag team titles. So yeah, and they're really doing good.
Oh, they're doing Judgment Day with an E.
That's what I said.
So it's Judgment Day because for the ex-con Dominic thing. That's why they're doing it. So internally WWE has Judgment Day with an E. Ex-con, because he's an ex-con. Dominic's doing his whole ex-con thing.
So gay.
Yeah.
What was he saying? Who was he telling? The
Usos. He was telling the Usos
they wouldn't last one day in jail with the people he was in there with.
I don't know how you guys. How do you guys find this entertaining? I have no idea.
It's amazing. It's probably one of the best things on Raw right now.
That's facts. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, it's very good, and he's running with that ball, man. Really, I think this could be a turning point for Dominic. Okay. I think I really was low on expectations with him. And like, where's he going to go? Where's he going to do? Yeah. Understandably so, yes, because he hasn't been very promising.
They pushed him to the main roster.
Yeah, but he found his niche. He found his gimmick, and you're gonna milk it as long as you can because this can be the turning point moment for him. It's hilarious. He's doing it great. Playing the wimp, the way he's playing, he plays it to perfection. The post that That was also very funny. On the MVP posted a picture on social media where he's next to he's sitting next to Dominic, and
On the plane.
and Dominic told him he would never last in jail when he spent like 9.5 years in jail for kidnapping and robbery.
Right.
So that was
Right.
funny from MVP. I think
Like,
it's
really,
just working
bro?
out perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, like really, bro. Like, you serious? I was there for a decade, man. I think I can handle
Yeah,
myself.
like, bro,
But
I'm good. Like, yeah, I can make a knife out of anything, motherfucker. Like, don't step to me.
Yeah, but so probably good job for him. Hopefully this leads to something bigger for him, and that he could deliver when that something bigger appears, because that's always going to be about that. It's okay. Now you're getting over. You're finding your groove here with this gimmick. When the big opportunity shows up, you better take it, and you better perform. That's going to be the key moment there for things going forward for Dominic.
Well,
So back to
that's
Smack-
it, right? So
Yeah, go ahead.
Dominic will most likely be wrestling, because Damien was hurt, right? Was it Damien or Finn? Finn was hurt, I think.
Finn was hurt, yeah.
Finn was hurt. So Dominic and Damien versus the Usos. That will definitely get to see more, because Dominic really hasn't been doing a whole lot of wrestling on his, well, not wrestling on his own, but just a whole lot of wrestling, period. But from the wrestling we have seen, he definitely changed up his style completely too. So he's no longer trying to be like Rey Mysterio. He's being his own self, and he's done a more he has a skill set more towards he has a more grounded skill set towards his physique, which is exactly what we need.
Yep, I completely agree.
We don't need that. I don't need that. I don't need that on my TV.
Well, then turn it off.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So I guess I don't know. I haven't done a survey. Survey says, but I do think that it is getting. I think it is getting over with a majority of the fans. Maybe not everybody, because some people don't like The Miz, but it's like that, and there's nothing really we can do about what people like and don't like. So, Bray Wyatt, back to SmackDown. Bray Wyatt came to the ring to cut a promo. Are you guys happy to see the rocking chair and basically the old Bray Wyatt? Because that's the Bray Wyatt we've been waiting to hear from, and we find. Did he admit to being Uncle Howdy there?
Yes.
But it was so kind of weird. Like, he did, but he kind of said it like offhand, where he's everybody. And so, like, yes, but I think it was just more. So,
yes and no.
Yeah. Because to put our listeners in context, what he said was that that he remembered he was the color red in the world of black and white, that he was Uncle Howdy, that he was the eater of worlds, and that he was him. So yeah, he kind of. I don't think it was I don't think that's what he meant to say, that he's Uncle Howdy. What he meant to say is that he's what Uncle Howdy
portrays
him as. You know, like, you're the real person. Now you're wearing the mask. Show us who your real person is. I think it's more that, because obviously we saw a physical person being Uncle Howdy. So there's more to be seen. I don't think we've seen the last of Uncle Howdy here, because we did see him on Raw, right? With Alexa. Right. So
we're gonna see.
There's more to this story here.
Right. We're gonna see a lot at the Pitch Black match. A lot is gonna be unveiled. A lot.
I think so too. I think so too. Sure. I think that's the right moment. I think you
maybe even with Alexa as well.
Yeah.
And
I think you've milked it long enough that now you need we're going to developing situation.
We're going to see a lot of new faces in that match.
Very possible, and that's very good. That's at the Rumble, right?
Yeah.
So the Rumble. So so we're gonna have a great. I think it's gonna be a good match. I hope. Yes, there is some reveal and some stuff developing in the storyline, but I also would like to see, because we haven't seen Bray Wyatt in a good wrestling match in a while. So I would also like it to be a good wrestling match. I know LA can go and Bray can go, so they can make this happen. Don't make it too much. Don't make it too much about the storyline. Obviously, you have some things to reveal, and it's important for the continuation of the storyline. But I want to see a good 15, 20-minute match in the ring.
You think it's gonna be an actual match, or it's gonna be those little?
Yeah, I know we've speculated on it being cinematic, but I think it's going to be just a lights out match type style.
Yeah, it's just gonna be like a street fight, lights out match kind of thing.
Yeah, type of thing.
Like
no, because it's not called lights out. It's called pitch black, right? So it's not like a lights out match. Where
no. I was thinking,
you're thinking of John Moxley and
Omega.
No.
I'm thinking of.
But it's a street fight
of Undertaker and Mankind.
Well, that was a boiler room.
Boiler. Well, something like that, but in the dark, pitch black.
Yeah, I think the lights will be dimmed. I think the lights will be dimmed, and it's going to be a street fight type of thing.
And
like a no holds barred or whatever, no disqualification, whatever that 13,000 names they have for those kinds of matches. But it's going to be that kind of match. Yeah, so that was Bray Wyatt. That was pretty cool. What do I have here? Oh, Kevin Owens backstage. I guess what I should have wrote a bit more. Oh yeah, Sammy interrupted him in this backstage, and that's when Owens basically is telling him that they're going to turn on him, and when is he going to wake up, and and so it's pretty short, but I guess it continues the storyline they wanted to hear. Then we had, oh my god, I feel so bad for Raquel. She deserves better than this. But we had Liv against Raquel Rodriguez. Liv.
I don't even remember this match.
Yes.
What can I? Yeah, exactly. That's how meaningful it was.
Liv is the new.
I mean, oh Jesus, no! Don't give Liv that much credit.
It's not a credit. It's not a compliment.
No, because Nikki Cross was fucking awesome when she was Nikki Cross and crazy. What she's doing now is not much. But Liv, yeah, I don't know, man. This whole crazy thing isn't working either for her. She's just not good. Like, I guess she's heel now, but I don't know. Like, you being crazy doesn't work for you. I don't believe you. I just don't think you can act. Why haven't you gotten acting lessons by now? Like, fuck. You've been there for so long. Like, I just don't care. Like, you were no longer being good as the goody two shoes champion. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do with her. Like, I don't know.
Man, they really messed that up with the whole Ronda storyline.
They really
match.
did.
Where is Mrs. complaining Ronda? She's gone for a while, right?
Well, yeah, I would guess she would be. They want to keep her away from television for a few weeks, so when she does return and come and attack Charlotte, that has a bigger impact than her just being there and complaining. So maybe probably did they announce a match for Charlotte at Rumble?
No, but it looks like it's gonna be Sonya.
Well, yeah, because that's what the next part in the Raw was. Sonya Deville was backstage with Adam Pearce, demanding a rematch against Charlotte Flair, because Flair had beaten her earlier. I think it was the week before, right? The week before. And Pearce denied her that opportunity,
and she'll find a way to get the match.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, but unless it's this week, so because this is not the go home. The go home is next week, so. This week or next week on SmackDown, we have 2 SmackDowns left, so it's very possible that something could develop. Like either they have that match in the next 2 weeks, or they announce it for Rumble. One way or the other, we will see Sonya Deville, and that's probably when Ronda comes. During that match, she'll probably attack Charlotte. Maybe not cost her the match because I don't see the Sonya being a champion. Well, at least not now.
Right.
So I think that's when Charlotte comes. But I would definitely be interested in a faction of Baszler, Ronda, and Deville, like basically the MMA
that would be
mixed
dope.
martial arts women. That would be sick. And I really like Sonya. I think she doesn't get the credit she deserves. She's good on the mic. And she's very good in the ring. I think she's probably out of the mixed martial artists, she's probably the best one in the ring. Like I mean worker. I not mean that
Right.
she puts on the top matches there. I think Shayna and Ronda have put on better matches than Sonya, but I think as a sound worker
They've also been
wrestler,
given that chance too, though. Sonya hasn't
exactly,
really done anything
exactly.
since, dare I say, since Mandy Rose, for the most part.
True, true,
You
true.
know,
Definitely
so
true. Yeah, definitely true. So I would like that would be good for Deville, and I think it would even help. It would even help Ronda and Baszler here. So I think that's something to look into for the writers and bookers at WWE. And then we came to the video package, which we spoke earlier about, um, hyping the return of Cody Rhodes. I think
They
they're making him
sh-
look like $1 million here in these video packages.
they shouldn't have kept it a surprise. We knew he was coming, but now it's like it's
I
confirmed.
yeah.
think that's. I think I heard a debate on this week from a video I saw on YouTube or something. They were talking about this, and um, I think if it was me booking, I would have done it this way because you're gonna get surprises anyways. Is the Royal Rumble?
Mm-hmm.
I think you create a
Okay.
buzz
I'll be back. Give me
by
a second.
doing it this. Yeah, no problem. You create a buzz using these video packages to build the following or the audience for Royal Rumble, and I think just the fact that people know that Cody is there, you're gonna raise the ratings a bit, the buys, and probably I don't know if it's sold out or anything. Where is already the Royal Rumble?
San Antonio, Texas.
Okay, so it's in the is it in a stadium or an arena?
It's a stadium, I believe.
Okay, so it's a big capacity. So yeah, so I think doing it like this, you're not only helping yourself, but you're also making Cody look like $1 million. And when Cody comes back, whether it's announced or not, like I think it would have got a
Right.
huge pop one way or another.
Either
When
way,
that
yeah.
when the music, when the team his team entrance music comes on, I think it's going to get a pop, no matter if people know or don't know that he was coming. But I think this, for the business part of it, I think was the right way to go. Yeah, because you're right. I agree that people knew he was coming, whether they announced it or not. But
It's
I
in
just think making it official is the right business move.
It's at the dome, the Alamo Dome.
Alamo Dome. Alamo
64,000.
Yeah,
64,000.
yeah, so it's a big capacity. So yeah, maybe they didn't sell out already, but I'm sure they'll sell out in these next few weeks, especially now since Cody hasn't made it official that he will be there. Oh yes. Then after we had the main event, Sammy and Kevin, which we already talked about, and these two in the ring always deliver. So it was a good main event. I enjoyed that main event.
Did you guys already say hi to Miguel?
Yes, we did.
Oh, okay. Hello. I'm sorry. Late to the party. as
What
usual.
up?
Um,
Okay, so that was SmackDown. So
smack it down.
yeah. So then, what did we get on Rampage here? Darby versus Juice Robinson. What did you guys think about this match? Well,
I
I
don't
know
watch Rampage.
Big Red didn't see it. So,
Well, I thought it
you
was.
saw it?
I thought, yeah, I thought Juice Robinson at least looked decent here. Like I felt like this was the best Juice Robinson that we've seen in AEW. I think Juice Robinson only has had like 1 or 2 matches, anyways, in
I think
AEW.
it's two. I think also on Dark a few times also.
Oh, fair enough. Well, I definitely didn't watch those. But yeah, so I thought at least we got to see a lot more of Juice here. It's just interesting to me that because I've heard a lot of great things about Juice, and I'm still not kind of seeing what everyone's been talking about yet. But I just feel like he hasn't been given a proper storyline yet. So
Yeah.
maybe that's what I'm kind of waiting for. I know the guy can go, but I think you definitely got to see a lot of his skills now against Darby. So
Yeah, I think that was the first
that was
time
a
you
fun
actually
match.
got to see that. Yeah,
That's fair. Okay.
yeah. It's since he reinvented himself, I guess. Before this year's G1, where he had left New Japan and then came back. This new version of Juice compared to where can I put this so you people know? Okay, compared to the version that fought Moxley, this is definitely the better version of Juice Robinson. The rock hard, I guess, That's what they're calling
Okay.
it.
Right.
A gimmick now he has. So
Right.
he would go good in the Costa. Don't say it.
No, say it. Do say it.
Yeah, he could make.
He'd go good with the Banger Bros.
Exactly.
Fucking guy.
Well, his wife would have an issue with that.
Rock hard and the Banger Bros. Banger
Sounds
after
wild.
banger after banger.
I think his wife would have an issue.
Yeah, it's true because he is married with what's her name?
Tony Storm.
Tony Storm. That's right. That's exactly right.
Wow, nice.
So yeah, Juice Robinson. I think we're going to start to see him more and more as the weeks go by, and Tony is able to put him into more storylines, because this is like kind of just the open challenge, right, for the TNT Championship match. So
Right.
he's not really instilled in any storyline yet. But I think with this match, I think it gives Tony not a reason, but it gives Tony motivation to start putting him in more important position there for TV. What else we hear? Okay, a promo from Daddy Ass and the Acclaimed, and then we had Eddie Kingston and Ortiz.
Well,
so the continuing. Go ahead.
Hold on. First of all, this is where he had botched his rap, Max Caster. We had saw that he had botched it. Well, we didn't see it on Rampage. On Rampage, they just showed the best the actual rap, but on the actual Rampage itself, he botched it and he says, "We're going to restart this." So they actually restarted it. I believe that was for the Rampage. I'm almost certain that was for the Rampage there. This was the one where they also pushed him into the Hollywood thing, right?
No, I think it was just like a promo.
That's what I mean. But then the Gun Club came out, and then because they were supposed to do the Hollywood Walk of Fame thing, right, with the scissors.
Right.
That's true.
And then the
right.
Gun Club came out, and then they basically pushed the Gun Club. They pulled the Gun Club's pants down. They pushed him onto the cement thing that was still going, and yada, yada, yada. So just to kind of further that storyline there, just wanted to mention that him botching that promo was pretty funny, because a fan had recorded it on their little fan cam kind of thing. So that's all. We can move on now.
Yeah, it happens, you know. I'm not a big fan of starting things over when you mess it up, because then you let everybody know you messed up. But you know,
I mean, it's Rampage, so I guess he's like on a Dynamite. He couldn't have done anything, but you know, Rampage. He's like, whatever, guys, you can just cut this. Let's restart. You know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Plus, it was also the WWE news, right? It was also the WWE news as well of. I think you were saying something about blood money or something with the whole Saudi thing.
Right.
He wanted to get that off properly, of course. So, you know.
Okay, that makes sense. There was something specific he wanted to be heard, and so that's why he restarted and said it. So, okay, it makes sense. Eddie Kingston and Ortiz basically continuing their breakup storyline,
right?
Versus the Kings of the Black Throne. This is the name that they are giving to Malachi Black and Brody King, which were accompanied by Buddy Matthews and Julia Hart. So, like, I understand this match couldn't be what we expected it to be, like a good, like a banger, because they're concentrating more on the Eddie Kingston Ortiz story. Do you guys see Eddie Kingston versus Ortiz in the near future? I guess that's the point of this, right?
That's what's happening.
Care about this.
I don't think that Ortiz, though, is joining the Blackpool, that Blackpool, House of Black. I don't think that's actually happening. I think the House of Black is just using Ortiz to kind of fuck over Eddie Kingston.
Yeah,
kind of
that
thing.
makes sense. That's
sense. All it is. I think it's just a mind fuck.
And since they are like really close, Eddie and Ortiz, I think they could put together a great match if they face one another. Usually, when people trust each other and are close, usually can put out a great performance when they face each other. So a good storyline. So I'm up
No,
for seeing
well,
that.
they do have great chemistry, so I'm down. Yeah, I'm
Mhm.
down. I think they both would work well together completely. So I'd be down to see
And
them
maybe
two
that
team
would
up.
be when we would see the return of what's the name? Ortiz's partner. Um,
Santana.
Santana, yeah. Maybe that's when we see the return of Santana. I know I don't know if they're still in
Okay.
having a beef there, Ortiz and Santana, or if they fixed that up. But eventually, business is business, and I don't know what his contractual situation is, but he's gonna have to come back to work eventually. So,
I think
Right.
Santana left the company.
was that official? Yeah.
I believe so. I believe so.
Oh,
And there goes our reporter checking on that.
Nope.
okay. So it would be good to know because I never heard of them releasing him.
He didn't
Yeah,
get
I don't think
released.
it's released.
I
I think
think
it
he
was more
left.
just a falling out between the two, but he didn't actually get released. Okay, that's 22. So Conan back in July reported that they're not doing good. Santana and Ortiz leaving after fallout with tag team partner. No, nothing confirmed though.
Okay, then my bad.
More details regarding the falling out. Why did Santana leave? Okay, blah 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 blah. Some a nickname, proud and powerful. Okay, that does not answer that question at all. No, so it looks like there's no actual he left yet. He's just having some issues because it was more just he was having some issues at where he was in the company and what they were
Right.
doing with him. But I don't think he actually got let go or released from his contract.
Yeah, because it doesn't seem like Tony likes to like release people from their contracts too much. So
Unless asked nicely. And
well,
William
yeah, I
Regal.
guess.
But he had an opt out.
Oh yes, and William Regal, yes, but that was, I guess, more of a favor he did to Regal with the whole son and thing. So, but yeah, but look at Malachi. All these guys that had asked to be released and ended up being refused. So I don't know. You have a signed contract. That's why I think I've said this before. You have a signed contract. You honor it, and if you want to move on after, you move on. So yeah, that was more of a continuing that storyline between Eddie and Ortiz. Then we had the main event, which was very controversial on the internet. I am really anxious to hear your guys' opinion on it. Was that too much blood?
No.
For the women?
Yeah, Soho was
that was like
covered.
Well,
It was Anna too. Anna too blood, right? Anna J.
yeah, everyone.
Yeah. So,
no, Willow didn't bleed.
no, and Ty didn't
But
bleed also, right?
it was Soho and Anna. It was
Yeah.
Soho
Well,
and Anna.
If you
And Anna J, yes, yeah.
if you ask Ric Flair, it was.
Too much?
Well, Ric Flair just doesn't like to see women bleed. Like, shut up, Rick. Like,
Yeah.
way to be. I don't know. Like, that's just such a stupid comment. Like, I don't think you said anything about this when Britt did it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know why people are just going crazy. People just gotta shut up. It was a fantastic match. I think there was bitching towards. Well, I think MJF was the one that had brought it up that people were bitching about Anna Jay.
Yes, he deleted
but-
his tweet right after, but yeah, he was backing Anna J.
But then I never ended up seeing anything about people bitching towards Anna Jay. I've seen about the actual match itself. But I'm like, why is everyone bitching? Oh, because wait, was Anna Jay the one that got the power bomb done on her, or was that Ty?
I don't know.
I think I'm not sure. I think
Either way,
I think it was Ty.
I thought the power bomb on Willow's part or whatever was maybe a bit, maybe whatever. It's just a little critique there, but nothing. I think she kind of messed up on the power bomb. She went too much into the table. Whereas, and then Anna Jay or Ty, whichever one it was, got, too much of the, well, I'm sure it was padding, but too much of the actual plank there. And it kind of just seemed like she just put her ass on the table and that's it. And Anna Jay really got hurt from the actual platform rather than the actual table, but just a minor little detail. Aside from that, I thought the match was just fantastic. And really showcased the women's division finally in a spotlight where we would really like especially Anna and Ty. We did not see this coming from Anna and Ty. At least, I mean, or at least not Ty. I didn't think Ty had that in her to do these kind of matches, but she certainly proved herself to be a hardcore wrestler and all that. So I really did enjoy seeing Ty do that, and Anna as well. I think Anna was in the last year's one, or
yeah, I think she definitely was in Anna versus when she had that feud with oh my god, now I'm forgetting, but she was the one that had bled the most in the women matches before this one.
Yeah,
Britt had done it. Britt had done it, but Anna Jay had the full crimson mask face last time this happened. Like Ruby had it this time, basically.
Right,
because Ruby
and she had it
really,
so
really
early. I don't know if there was like a blade in that garbage can or something. Because after she took that garbage can off, like just full-fledged blood, I'm like, yo, you either bleeded way too fast or you cut yourself way too deep. But I didn't get all the blood coming from just that garbage can stomp. I was like, I don't know. It
was a lot.
That's fucked
but
up. But it added to it. It was great.
Yeah, it made it just perfect, and it was a good main event for a Rampage. Okay,
amazing.
It probably wouldn't have been a main event for a Dynamite, but they tried it out here as main event on Rampage, and it definitely delivered. So that's an option now that Tony Khan has, because I think this would have been an okay Dynamite main event also, depending what other fights, depending what other matches are on the card, but definitely on the way he ran and the way they delivered in this main event was good. They backed it up, and I'm proud of these girls for what they did. They're really, really good. I know Ty is more of she looks like more of a I guess not sensitive, but girly, more which she would run away from these kinds of things. No, but like Justin said, she took it face on and she proved herself there. Yeah. And Willow, man, they're lucky to have her, because I don't know if she can never be a big star, but she definitely backs it up in the ring, man, and she is kind of over too. So,
she's over. She seems also very energetic. They did the whole Dudley Boy kind of feel to it with the camo stuff. It was cool. Willow's great. I just want to see her in a storyline though. I feel like I haven't really seen her in a legit storyline yet. But yeah, I think she's great in the ring. Every match she's been in, I've enjoyed. Maybe a bit too happy, but I mean, that's not a bad thing necessarily. But yeah, just want to see her in a good storyline. But she definitely should be going for some kind of title soon, because she certainly deserves it.
Yeah, I agree. She's an up and comer, and I think there's still a lot to be seen from Willow here.
Fair. Yep.
So moving on to Raw, the Usos and the Solo Sikoa kick off the show. They announced the for next week the acknowledgement of Roman Reigns ceremony, and that Jimmy and Jay, which we talked about earlier, will be defending their titles against Judgment Day. When Judgment Day comes out, they have kind of a brawl. What do you guys think about Rhea staring down Solo there when she put herself?
That was badass. That was badass. And then I'm like, Soho, are you gonna pull a non-Tozawa and do something about it? Oh. Dana White, really? You're gonna go there? You're gonna? Damn. I mean, yeah, I guess Dana White, a Chris Brown. Sorry, Chris.
Yeah,
poor guy. After 10 years, still can't get it. He's still synonymous with slapping women. Fuck.
Definitely. But I thought that was badass too, man.
Badass, very badass. And I'm almost kind of like, give me a match, guys. Yeah. I'm kind of down for this. You're both freaking brawlers. Let's go. You know what I mean?
And I know the WWE kind of doesn't like to do this intergender matches, but yeah, we feel like I think this made Rhea look even stronger than she is, man. It's made her look badass, and yeah, I would definitely be down for a match. But I don't think we'll see it, especially the way the Tozawa one went.
Mhm.
I don't know if they'll want to do that again. Well, if they're going to do it without punching kickers, just don't do it at all. But
Right.
it definitely had that feel like, yeah, you want to see this, you want to see it. You want to
Right.
see
It was
Rhea.
very badass. I was like, oh shit. Rhea, honestly, I think it was Big Red who had mentioned that. I don't know if it was off camera or whatever, but man, she was awesome in NXT. As soon as she came to the main roster, she kind of fell off, right? And then and then this resurgence with the Judgment Day. I don't know where she had got this encouragement or whatever have you, but she completely flipped it to make it something worthwhile. And yeah, she's just killing it. She's the leader of the Judgment Day, and she's making it work for she's what I would compare. She's what R-Truth did to the 24/7 championship kind of thing. You know what I mean? She took something that was probably going to mean nothing and then keeping it afloat and making it worthwhile and worth watching. Now I guess Dominic with his, but that's in part of Rhea's, that's part of Rhea too, because that whole thing, that happening ended up working. And just kudos to Rhea. I guess that was great. Whoever, I think it was you who made her woman wrestler.
He picked her as wrestler of the year, right?
Yeah. So, yeah, well deserved. She's still killing it. That's for sure.
Yep, definitely. So moving on, then we had Bobby Lashley explains. Okay, yes, that we already talked about that he will be facing Theory at the Raw 30th for the United States Championship after winning that same night later on in the night the
six-man challenge there. That was fucking awesome as well. Like that it was an elimination. It really showcased everybody pretty well. We got to see, I guess we're going to see the Hurt Business come back. That looks like that's what's going to happen. And now Omos is going to join them, which I'm kind of down for. If, he's just just as the enforcer kind of guy, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So I think it definitely could help. And I think for you're not overdoing it with 4 members in the faction. I think this is going to do, it's going to do wonders for 3 people out of 4. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to help drastically Bobby Lashley, but I definitely think it's going to help Sheldon Benjamin, Cedric, and Omos. I think it's going to be great for all 3. I don't know how much you can help Omos because the guy has 0 charisma, but as the enforcer part there, always kind of quiet, doesn't have to open his mouth. I think it can work. And to have MVP at the front of this, I think will work for the Hurt Business. Real happy. I don't know if losing hurts them because I think it was a good match, right? With the Street Profits, I think it was a good match. Some people will be disappointed. Right away you bring back the Hurt Business and right away you bury them. I don't know if you can call that a bury. Yes, the Street Profits did beat them,
right?
But I think
the Hurt Business is not a thing yet. It's technically not a thing yet, right? Yeah, so
there's that also.
Maybe that's just it. They're still kind of building it. Lashley hasn't really agreed to it yet. MVP did talk to Cedric and Shelton, whatever, but it's still not happening. So maybe this is kind of going to be once it's finally one and done, that they're back as the Hurt Business, or heck, it might not even maybe be with Shelton and thing. Maybe they'll take on the Street Profits instead, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you know what, guys, you and they can use that match as a thing. But I don't know. I feel like they would have given you more of a storyline with that already.
Listen, if the Profits were to go heel here, because I think the Hurt Business needs to be a heel faction,
right?
If the Street Profits decide to go heel and show up in suits, part of the Hurt Business, hey, I'm all for it. Like
that would be different. Yeah, let's see what you can do heel. I don't see it just because they're always so animated and
animated, and I think they're big merch pushers,
merch sellers, right?
Yeah, sellers. So I don't know if they want to take that route, but I think this could propel them to like really top of the tag team division if they were to do that.
Right.
Because I think that's not to take anything away from Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander, but I think the Street Profits with Bobby Lashley and Omos as the enforcer is a better faction than with Cedric and Shelton.
Definitely. Which is weird saying, because I feel like Omos has not done anything since he's been there.
He would still have a lot to prove, guaranteed. But like
because
I said, in the
Omos
background,
and MVP didn't work, right?
No.
MVP tried his freaking darndest. So, but I don't know. Maybe all it's missing is Omos in a suit. Sometimes it's just a change of attire, and that changes everything. Who knows?
And don't give him too much. Don't give him too much visibility or too much or too much don't put him in the front of this. Put him in the back behind all the other guys, just there looking strong.
Yeah,
and nobody
kind of
wants
like what they
with.
do with Singh for AEW there.
Yes, kind of that. Yep. Kind of that.
Same thing.
Kind of like Diesel was for Shawn Michaels at the beginning there.
That too. Yep.
Kind of like just quiet, just be there and look mean, and look dangerous, and I think it can work as part of that faction. So we'll see, but I think it's like you said, MVP did try, but I think MVP alone wasn't enough for a wrestler like Omos that lacks so much charisma. Like you need more pieces to this puzzle. And I think maybe bringing back the Hurt Business is an option here. Hopefully it works out, because there's potential there. The guy's 7'4", whatever weight he is.
Right.
There's definitely potential there. I'm not saying he will ever be a championship material, but there's definitely an asset you could use, Omos.
I mean, no, not necessarily. Look at Great Khali.
Ooh, I think Omos is more. Yes. I get the comparison, but I think Omos is a bit better. Like, especially
I feel like right now they're still the same.
Yeah. He hasn't proven anything to say that he's better than Ali, but the Great Khali. But I'm thinking like Great Khali. Not only did he have no charisma, he could be funny. He could be funny sometimes, but I guess it's more of like a mockery funny than anything. Like people are laughing at him, and not really with him.
Right.
But he was really not agile. You'd see him walking to the ring. Looked like he was having the hardest time of his life to walk down the ramp. I think there's a bit more potential in the working as a worker for Omos. But they're gonna have to pull it through with this Hurt faction, because I think this would be probably the last chance for Omos to break through here. If that's the way they're going. So one last chance for Omos here with the boys from the Hurt Business.
Here's to hoping.
Here's to hoping. Then we had Becky Lynch calling out Bayley. She called her a Karen. That actually fits pretty good for Bayley's character here. So
it does perfectly well. She kind of could be a Karen. Bayley does kind of look like a Karen. I don't know what Bayley's legit name is, but if I were to guess, I would think it was Karen, because I'm like, I can see it. And it was funny. She didn't know what a Karen was. My name's not Karen. It's Bayley. I'm like, so that was fun.
Yeah, that match for next week in the steel cage with Becky is going to be fire. I have a feeling.
Yeah, man. This Raw Triple X, like, they built it as a pay-per-view. You know what I mean? It's going to be a good fucking time. Mixed with all the legends and all that, like, it's going to be a good fucking time. Mixed in with Vince McMahon.
Yeah. Still very possible surprise appearance by the chairman of the board. So that match. Then Dolph Ziggler, which was part of the 6-pack challenge that main evented Raw, gets again
Pamela by Rose Martinez.
That's her name. I knew she was Latina, but I didn't know it's Pamela. Okay, yeah, Pamela Rose.
Yeah.
So Pamela Rose, Karen Martinez. Yeah. Mustafa Ali again confronts Dolph because of him refusing the tag team that they were going to be in the tournament, and he refused because he wanted a match with Solo. So they're continuing this kind of story. So now Mustafa actually attacks Dolph Ziggler in this segment, basically because Dolph Ziggler like brushes him off. I don't got time for you. I'm going to be in this match later on, and then Mustafa attacks him and he goes, "Do I have your attention now?" So I think these two can have very great chemistry in a match. I think this could be a banger here if they do decide to go that route. I don't see it maybe as not as a pay-per-view fight because of where they are in the card here, but definitely can be one of top match on a Raw. Definitely Ziggler versus Mustafa here.
Yeah. That match. Who did Ziggler face this week though?
Well,
it was Ziggler.
Well, this week. No, this week he was in the 6-pack challenge.
Oh yes, okay, fair enough. Yeah. Yes, it's true. Sorry, and that was announced. I am getting a whole bunch of shit mixed up. Okay, yes, Ziggler Mustafa. I think they would work perfectly well together. That would just make complete sense. And I feel like Ali would get the win though, to further up, to build up Ali because Ziggler. Doesn't need it, but I feel like they would definitely maybe even match for the night worthy for sure.
Yeah, they could definitely that has the potential to be a show stealer there, guaranteed
for sure.
Okay, so what do we got?
It's just a regular match, huh?
Well, they haven't announced the match yet.
Oh, I thought you mentioned Ziggler announced.
No, it's kind of their. Yeah, exactly. They're just kind of advancing the storyline, which this little beef between Ziggler and Ali. But in this week, it got physical for the first time with Mustafa attacking Ziggler at the end of the segment. But there's still no match has been announced. Probably we'll get some news on Monday with more advancement in the storyline, because I think that's where we're going to end up is with a match. But no, they haven't announced a match yet, because since Dolph was in the 6-pack challenge, he was kind of like brushing him off, and Ali kind of said, like, no, it's enough, and now you're going to pay attention to me. So probably we're going to see a match soon coming from them. Yes, Elias thinking he had a match against MVP, and that's when Amos comes out. That's when we found out Amos is still with MVP. Completely destroyed here. Elias. So it looks like they want to make Omos look strong.
Right, it's getting another push.
What was the? Yeah, he's getting another push. What was that spot with the guitar? Oh yes, it's Elias grabs the guitar to go hit Omos, and Omos just breaks it with one hand.
That's it.
Yeah, so that was cool, and then he gets the Omos the two-handed choke slam that he does there, which is a kind of a between choke slam and power bomb there a bit, which is his finishing move.
Really bad.
That's it. What do we have? Judgment Day versus Alpha Academy. I guess this was just no,
but it was honestly do something with Alpha Academy, man. I don't know, because both Otis and Chad Gable are so phenomenally talented. It's a shame that they just don't give him anything. Even heck, split them up or give them a fucking title run or something, because these guys absolutely deserve to be on your screen every week. And they are already with certain matches, but you're not really giving them a storyline. Give these guys something to work with and work through, because they definitely won't disappoint. They give you banger of matches. Both of them are phenomenally talented. Chad Gable has mic skills. Otis plays the dummy really well. Do something with these guys. You know how I am with Tozawa? I am the same way with Gable and Otis.
And you see that they're really helpful to to the guys in the company because they keep on helping them out with every storyline. Okay, so when you need a little spice up in the storyline, give them Gable and Otis here, Alpha Academy. Whether it was in the Miz storyline, whether it was with the other guys a few weeks ago, I can't remember. Or now in this case, Judgment Day. So these guys are helping you out. They're already, like you said, they're already on TV every week. So and they're putting out good matches. Gable's good on the mic. I don't see like what's keeping them back. Maybe hopefully when the new champions are crowned here for the Raw Tag Team titles, that Alpha can be in that title picture for at least a while. They've proven it in the past that they can.
They've definitely right.
So yes.
Giving them the Raw titles. Giving them the Raw titles, I'd be uber down for. These fucking titles better be split before Mania. I swear to God, because it really does hinder a lot of your wrestlers to be able to do something with World, as well as tag. Women, there's also just one tag as well, right?
Yeah. There's only one tag.
But I guess there's not enough women's tags, so I guess that's fine to kind of thing. But they're not doing anything with those either, and they have a limited supply of people to use it on. So, but yeah, you definitely got to split up these titles, both the World and the tag, especially since the Usos aren't doing anything with it. Judgment Day, honestly, I would even be down for Judgment Day to win it.
I think it would fit good if Judgment
Sammy being the cause or something.
Yeah. That would
maybe.
That
my
storyline.
God, they make it a cause where if it's a DQ, they still lose the titles, and Sammy fucks them over.
That would be a full turn. Then that would be a full turn from Sammy.
Or indirectly fucks them over.
Yeah, I think that's a possibility.
He throws the weapon into the ring or something, and then like the referee just turns and it hits someone or something, like, you know what I mean? Like
because that would work, because the Judgment Day are healed, so that would work.
Fuck over. Yeah,
because that would work, because they throw the weapon something into the ring to help the Usos, but the Judgment Day get it and use it and get the win out of that. That would be good for everybody. They're heels, so it would be acceptable for heels to use a weapon, and it would work to further the rift of the bloodline and Sami Zayn, especially with the Usos. So or with Jey Uso. So I think that's a very strong possibility, and that would be a very good outcome for this, because I definitely agree that they need to separate the titles. Since Triple H has come back, he has brought a lot of the tag team division, like a lot of these tag teams back, and then now only having one belt hinders that tag team division there
completely. And
right.
That was Raw. Dynamite is really fresh in my head.
Yeah, Dynamite last night was. I think I only missed. You're gonna have to put me on the Hangman Page promo with Renee Paquette. Like, what was said there?
Basically,
I missed that.
Yeah, so basically with that, he just mentioned that, he got his revenge story back, kind of thing, on what he did. And he basically talked, Renee also told him like, oh, well, John also really respects you for allowing him to be better in the ring and giving it your all, kind of thing. So there was a somewhat of a respect scenario going on, but he's also kind of like, I still got more to prove. Hangman, saying I still got more to prove. And it almost sounds like, they're not done with it, but he's gonna be moving on. It's a weird little thing, because I almost feel like it's the perfect way to knock off Moxley for a while.
Yeah,
as well.
It fits in it fits the storyline where he was supposed to go on vacation. Well, not storyline, but he was supposed to go on vacation after the All Out pay-per-view, with all that story with CM Punk happening. Kind of, Tony asked him if he could delay that for a while because he needed him to be a top to be a top star for the company for the next few weeks.
Right.
So now would be the perfect time for him to go take this break. Makes sense. It also makes sense that it's not that it could not be that it could be not over this feud, but at the same time, I think this establishes Hangman back into the top tier of the roster here, and I think because if you're gonna have another match, you'd have to give one back to John here, and then would that hurt a bit of Hangman Page's getting over, like I don't know. So I think the good part here is now you have a strong Hangman Page again. Mox doesn't lose credibility here at all, I think, because that was a very good match last week.
Right.
And John can take advantage of his vacation, and Hangman can be now take that place at the top of the card where you need those guys to fill out that top of the card. And I think the journey to Hangman Page to return, maybe not to the title, but at least to a title shot, I think started last week with that win over Mox. So
yeah, and his promo skills, like it wasn't a very like long promo either. It was a backstage promo in the back kind of thing. It wasn't that long. They didn't really necessarily say much except John is out and recuperating, and they both kind of respect each other for giving it their all kind of thing. I'm trying to go to it now because I feel like I think that's kind of it though. There wasn't anything overly too. Here you go. Okay, hold on. Come on. God damn it, Adam Page. Care.
What do you feel about your dynamic with John?
Just
the nature of wrestling, right? And the first match, he put me to sleep, right?
Yeah.
And then he wanted to make a joke about it. So I told him to his face I would knock him out cold if I had to beat him, and I did.
Okay, so the revenge party. I'm glad I got my revenge back. I got my word in. Says he gladly would do it again. Where do you go from here is what she asked.
You said something earlier that kind of reminded me of...
Said something earlier that kind of reminded me of where I'd like to go. Some tough conversations I'd like to have.
Well, because we still don't have
that it needed mending for a long
time. There we have it. Long-term storytelling. We might get an end to that story with the Bucks.
Okay. That's fair. But who's his tag partner?
Oof. Well, now with the whole Dark Order being dismembered.
But he didn't want to be overly specific, obviously.
Yeah. Just to keep the options open there.
Yeah, I mean, the Bucks would make sense, but that means they would be with the Bucks. No, because
the whole story is that yes, because that's the last time they were kind of hinting at the story was kind of like they were hinting at a reconciliation here. So we still haven't got to the.
Or it could be a Dark Order thing too. I mean, that's very plausible.
Yeah, which I think it's Evil Uno. It's basically who's left in the Dark Order.
Yeah. Well, you can't forget about what's his face, John Silver.
Oh yes, John Silver, right? Which we've seen less in the last couple weeks, right?
Well, when have we seen Dark Order?
Well, I think we saw them at I think it was 2 weeks ago, right? In the backstage segment with Adam Page. I think I have a feeling like that's the last time we saw them. But yeah, there's offenses need to be mended. I think that means yes. There's some story that we have to let it go for full circle, and there's a story to tell that we've been telling for the last year and a half that needs some closure here. And I think that's a good storyline moving forward because yes, those guys are trios champions, right? So. With Kenny,
God,
so maybe there's
unless this whole CM Punk thing is a work and it's fucking CM Punk.
Man, but I would see. No, I don't think so.
Epic.
Especially with what MJF wrote on Twitter and the way on Instagram and the way CM Punk responded. doesn't look like CM Punk will be coming back unless he's really working us all, which I doubt. But yes, because
but then why suddenly comment about it now though? Because CM Punk has to, and he can't keep his mouth shut. Like, it's funny how no one was talking. But it's funny how no one was talking, and everyone was going through the whole legalities and so on, and then all of a sudden, like, now he just starts talking. I guess what? Everything is over. Is a new contract signed? How come we haven't heard CM Punk leave or a departure notice, or you know what I mean, from AEW? So that just leads to me like, well, then why is CM Punk now just talking about it? You know what I mean? We all mentioned there might have been a lawyer up scenario.
Right? It was kind of an ego boost because MJF was kind of because right. Okay, let me put everybody in context.
Over his name.
MJF won match of the year, right? Match of I think PWI's match of the year, and he was holding out the plaque, which they gave to him for match of the year, but he blacked out or he covered CM Punk's name. That was the picture. That was his Instagram post, and then CM Punk commented on the post saying, "Yeah, tell that to the ratings that are falling." Basically, I'm paraphrasing. I don't know exactly the exact quote, but basically mocking the ratings of Dynamite since MJF, or since he's gone, or since MJF is champion, whichever way you want to look at it. But it was kind of like he's not letting his ego get in the way here of his thing. But yeah, so that was Adam Page. Or that's getting back to Adam Page. I think Adam Cole is a possibility here. And Kyle O'Reilly with Adam Page versus the trio champions.
Yeah, but Kyle O'Reilly is no way near ready to be back.
He
literally just made and also Adam Page's face now. Sounds like, right? It's a new Adam Page, baby. Like he wasn't there on Dynamite, but we saw a little.
Oh, you mean Adam Cole, right?
Excuse me, Adam Cole. Excuse me. Yeah.
Okay, so Adam Page, baby. I'm like, oh, I think he's talking about Adam Cole. But yeah, but so is Adam Page, right? And I think the Elite are kind of walk that line. They're not heel or not face, because you see the heel moves that Kenny pulls during his matches. So there's like they still walk that fine line. Okay, maybe not Kyle O'Reilly. Because if he's not even close, then they can't tell that story that way. So they would have to go another way. Right. But I think the two Adams joining is definitely a possibility here. They're friends. They're kind of part of them. They kind of were part of the Elite. Well, maybe not the Elite. Well, yeah, they were kind of part of the Elite.
Adam
They're definitely part of Bullet
Page
Club.
Was not Cole.
Yeah, Adam Page
was. But
before, yes,
I mean,
before
they were
going to WWE. Before, I think he was on the first episode of Being the Elite, if I'm not mistaken, before going to WWE NXT. I'm not sure, or if it was him appearing or something, but I remember him being on.
Well, I mean, Cole in a sense was because it was Adam Cole and the Elite, with the whole Red Dragon when everyone was there. So that's what I mean by Adam Cole kind of being in the Elite. I'm not sure if Adam Cole was in the Elite way back in the ROH days and stuff like that.
Well,
was he?
I know he was part of the Bullet Club, definitely with.
Oh shit! Yes, the Bullet Club. Okay, sorry.
In ROH, I think he was the leader of the Bullet Club at one point at the end of before they started AEW, like when it was ROH, when they were doing the Bullet Club on both New Japan and ROH. I think that's when that's when Adam was heavyweight champion of ROH, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure about that. And they were there, so there definitely is a connection there with Adam Page and the Elite and Adam Cole. So I think that's a good story to tell. I would like to see, because you're gonna need to have some matches for these guys, for these trios champions, and basically, yes, we just have a new tag team with the Kings of the Black Throne,
right?
But with Buddy Matthews, are they a trio? Or are they going to concentrate on the tag team? So because you don't have unlimited number of trios here to work with. So I think that storyline would be good.
Yeah, but then who do you? I don't know, because then it could be just something entirely. I'm trying to think of Adam Cole's other feud. Adam Page's other feuds as well, though. Because he had one with Omega. No,
Well, yeah, yes.
originally he had one with him after.
They were tag champions together, and then after when they separated, they had a match. Yeah, I think Adam Page. Okay. If I'm not mistaken, I think Adam Page is the one who beat Kenny for the title.
That sounds. That does sound plausible.
If I'm not mistaken, I think that's what happened here.
Adam Page for AW. No, didn't he beat Punk for the title?
Ooh.
No, Kenny Omega.
Yeah,
sorry.
that's what I thought. Yeah.
Adam Page defeated Kenny Omega in the main event using the Buckshot Lariat for the pinfall victory and had ended Omega's 346-day reign. Pretty fucking impressive.
Yeah. So there's definitely a story to tell. There is missing a piece to the puzzle here, which would be the third partner. But they could make that part of a storyline, right? You could get a big pop for somebody. You create that mysterious intrigue and people who's going to be their third partner. So there's something to play with. And I think Tony has done this before with mystery partners and stuff. Hasn't always worked, yes. Especially with Tony and Saraya. But I think this is a story to tell here, and I think people would enjoy it. It could get personal. It could be good. It could be good. Like when I say personal, I don't mean like real. I mean like they could get personal because they're so close, and so they could get personal with each other because they know so much about each other. And I think this could.
You referring to who? Page and Omega?
Well, the whole Page, Cole, and the Elite. If they have a little rivalry for the trios championships, I think there's a story to tell there, and that could be interesting for us, the fans, to watch. Like I said, there's not an unlimited number of trios out there.
You make Adam Cole single though, man. You just have him do a singles run though. Don't get him mixed up into a fucking tag team trios.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess he was always mixed up in a faction, huh? Like for like his entire career almost.
From Bullet Club to Undisputed Era to Undisputed Elite. So he's always been kind of in a faction, and I love Adam Cole, and I would love for him to go on a singles push, but I think the only way to do a singles push for Adam is having him win the title. That's if you're gonna push him, you're gonna have to push him all the way because he's Adam Cole, baby, and I don't know if they're ready for that yet.
Right. Yeah. I mean, they're fucking booking the MJF Daniel Bryan thing perfectly. You giving me Daniel Bryan matches every week. They just keep getting better. And that's not me ass kissing. It's just like, holy shit, bro. This guy can go. And I've known this for years already, but like, damn, I'm still amazed. And I'm like, well, this is a match of the year contender. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. Like, fuck, it's just such great matches between he was bit with Bandino this week, and then that
was amazing.
Yeah. Bandino he's officially signed now with AEW, right? So definitely more excited to see Bandito and go against, give me Rue Rush, give me one of the top flight guys, give me Hangman, Adam Page would even be kind of cool. So but Bandito versus Daniel Bryan, crazy. And they all end up just being like, I don't care who wins. Like, this is a great fucking match.
Yeah.
Like
that's when the chants of Fight Forever come in handy here. That day when you want to see when you're looking at Bryan Danielson against Bandito, you definitely watch these guys and you want them to fight forever because there's just money there. So okay. Then we had quickly here Orange Cassidy versus Jay Lethal. What was your opinion on that All Atlantic Championship match?
Oh well, I think that was what started the match, no? The thing, yeah. So
yes, after the Briscoe tribute, it was right away the championship.
Yeah, so it went right away to there. No, I thought It was a good match. I just don't really necessarily care for maybe the storyline that they're telling. I get that they gotta kind of finish it. I don't know when the stipulation was made that if they get involved in the match, then Sanjay Dutt would get fired. I think. Well, I know Excalibur had mentioned that on commentary. I just don't know if they ever had mentioned that beforehand in terms of the stipulations or whatever. Thought it was a good match. I think Jay Lethal, first of all, he's just getting better and better with those fucking springboard stunners that he does.
Yeah.
Jay Lethal, like, oh my god, the length he can go. He can go
jump
pretty
there,
much
yeah.
across the ring. He could jump
Yeah.
like no problem. Like it's like
Yeah.
his elevation level is just amazing. Yeah, no, I thought they both work really well that together. They have great chemistry in terms of just outdoing each other in certain maneuvers and all that. I just love the chemistry of both of them. Obviously, seeing Danhausen is always fun as a usher as well. Gave me it was just great comedy. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I didn't really have a good opener. I think it was pretty decent. I had some comedic relief to it, so I didn't mind it. It was fun.
Yeah, it was a good match to start off. That's what AEW has a tendency of doing, right? Is when they start off with their shows with a good match, it right away sets the bar high for the rest of the match coming up. Yes, but it gets the people hooked right away from the first match. So I think this was great. Unless, not unless. I mean, other than complete waste of time that is Danhausen. But but yeah. So Orange Cassidy wins by pinfall.
It's not
yes. Then what's his name? I always forget his name. It's Singh, right? The big
guy. Yeah.
Yes, Singh tries to attack the best friends. About that, do you see a rift here between Trent and Orange Cassidy, or nah?
Why a rift?
Well, ever since they had that match, right? So they're kind of like hinting at it, but at the same time.
But
like,
where did they
saying,
hint it here?
Problem. No, in this match they didn't hint it. It was in the backstage segment. Was it last week where they're actually announcing this match, and like they make it look like Trent is a bit hesitant, and but Orange says that there's no problem, and then they ended up putting all their hands in the middle, and so they're kind of hinting that there might be a problem, but at the same time establishing that there isn't a problem. So I don't know if there's a story for the future.
I think it was more. I honest to God think it was just more to tell this story because ultimately it was Sanjay that screwed them over, right?
Yep.
Because Trent is usually the dude with the glasses, right? Or that's no Trent.
No, Trent is the good one. Yeah, the good wrestler there. Yeah, really cut abs. Not Chuck, the other one. So Chuck is the one a bit more chubby. I think that's the one with always the glasses there. Okay. And Trent is the one with the bandana. Yeah.
Oh, they're both wearing glasses here. Okay, no. So so Trent. Well, Trent was the one that was near him. So I was just checking to see if they maybe told the story when they were hugging there. I think that was more just to tell the story because it wasn't Orange Cassidy that fucked him over. It was Sanjay Dutt's group. I always forget what they're called. It was Sanjay Dutt's group that fucked them over. So Cassidy just kind of, because I don't think he saw that they got involved, but then he just got the win, right? So it wasn't like an intentional thing either. So I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, I guess I can kind of tell that story, but
I don't think so either. It was just
because they didn't say they would have at least hinted something here too.
Yeah, exactly. If there would have been a story to tell, you're right. If there would have been a story to tell to continue, they would have had to continue it there. At least in some kind of way, even if it's just a little Easter egg or a little hint at it. But yeah, there would have been it would have been maybe Trent hesitating a bit for the group hub. You got to give the people what they want. So yeah, I guess that's a good way to explain it. I don't think so either, but it was something worth exploring there. Um, then we had Matt and Nick Jackson against the Young Bucks against Top Flight, Dante and Darius Martin, where the Bucks were wearing their the armbands for Jay there. It seemed very emotional, and
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Well,
I
they
enjoyed it.
a lot of people were. I know this match was fire, and this is honestly
Mhm.
one of the first matches that I kind of see the Young Bucks not do like a ballet, um, like
A spot
what's the
fest.
word I'm looking a spot like well they kind of did a spot fest, but it wasn't like too orchestrated. I feel like I
Okay,
didn't
yeah,
notice that it
choreographed.
was choreographed. That's it. And yeah, these guys obviously they're pretty much the same team. Um, and yeah,
Yeah,
I just enjoyed it. I thought it was nice back and forth. It looked like they did. I almost feel they have better. This could sound weird, but I almost feel they flowed better than they do with the Lucha Brothers, which is weird because obviously Young Bucks and Lucha Brothers always fight and they entrust each other so much. But I felt like it really, like they
I get.
really had great chemistry here.
Yeah, I get what you're saying because yeah, it seemed like it was more free flowing.
Yeah,
Then
you
a
know,
lot of the times, well, they've gotten better, especially during this best of 4 out of 7. But yes,
for
at some
sure.
point, sometimes it seemed like I know we've talked about this on the podcast where they're waiting for each other's spots, so they're waiting in position just because they know there's a spot coming there, and that's what
Mhm.
people usually found the problem with. And this, it didn't. You didn't see that. It was more free flowing. I guess I don't know if the Young Bucks are mentors to Top Flight, but they're definitely a younger version of the virgin, a younger version of the Young Bucks here
I'm
because these
pretty
guys
sure
are very
Dante has
young.
a girlfriend, and her name is
Yeah,
Sky Blue. So
yeah. So
don't think he's a
so
virgin.
no, no, no. So they're younger versions of Matt and I think even because they're both very agile, both Dante Martin and what's his name Darius Martin
Yeah,
are both very agile. So because Young Bucks, you have Nick that's very like I guess more of that lucha style where he puts on those spots and those moves, and Matt is more of a grounded wrestler. Still does high risk stuff, but less than Nick. And I think Top Flight,
right.
both of these guys, Dante and Darius, can fly and can move. So there's a lot of potential there. I like the fact that they don't make them talk too much. I know Dante for a bit, especially when Darius was hurt, he would have more
Right.
moments they would put him in a mic in front of him. But
Right.
and I think it's good. I think it's good. They don't need to talk right now. They're a young team. They have that kind of rookie
Mm.
feel. Just put on good matches, and
Yeah.
when you get more higher in the card and more towards the title picture, then we'll start to having to hear more from you. But for now, I have no problem them not doing that many promos. Just put them in good matches, and they're going to deliver. So like they did this week.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah. No
what
match of the
is?
night for me though. Completely enjoyed that. That was great, and the fact
Yep,
that they got the
yep,
win. What? Like because
yeah.
they
Top
were
Flight
kind of
getting the
hinting that
pinfall here. Yep.
yeah, Top Flight getting the pin, and also too like they were kind of hinting at like oh they haven't wrestled as a tag team since July, and I was like oh my god.
The Young Bucks.
So, the Young Bucks. Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
And so they were kind of really hinting like, oh, well, they only know how to work as a trios for like the most part. And I was like, huh, that's very interesting that you say that. But then Taz was kind of guys like, no, but they're the Young Bucks, Dave. But kudos to them
mhm.
for giving Top Flight the win because I think that's fucking awesome.
Yep.
It was a totally great match.
Yep, it was a good. I think it was the good booking decision here to give them the clean victory here. It makes them look good.
Mhm.
Doesn't hurt the Young Bucks because they put on a good match, and doesn't hurt them because they're literally trios champions with Kenny. So, I think it was the perfect booking here to have Top Flight win by pinfall. Then we have the Guns that came out. I guess okay. The whole
Well, it was
segment
just
with the
supposed to be exactly. It was supposed to be the Acclaim coming out, but the Guns came out, and I don't know. I don't even know what the fuck they were saying technically.
well,
But
the rap was about the Guns being hired due to their father, right? Nepotism. And then the Billy
right,
stops them and goes, they're all gonna go to family therapy.
I got 2 words for you. Yeah, exactly. So they did the rap. They came in the ring. They were fighting each other, and then Billy Gunn or Daddy Ass basically takes off both guys. He takes one of the Acclaim guys and one of the Gun guys, and he's like, "Guys, that's it. I've had enough. You guys are champions. You should know better." And you guys need to show respect. Blah blah blah. And if you don't like that, I got 2. If come next week, I got 2 words for you: family therapy. So we'll see what the hell that means.
Yeah, it was a good. I guess people were well. I knew he wasn't going to say it, but at least it raised. It got the reaction that you want from the fans. There, I got 2 words for you. So it
Exactly.
was a nice wink there at the Raw 30 this week and the X.
Yeah.
What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? That's it.
Then we got Ricky Starks versus Jake Hader.
Yeah. How was that? How'd you find that?
It was not bad. I mean, I think it was one of the more entertaining Jake Hader matches I've watched.
Yes, I agree with that. While being one of the Jake Hager's more entertaining matches, it might also be one of Ricky Stark's less good matches in the last few months.
That's fair.
But it was still entertaining though. It was okay. It's not the end of the world there, but the right booking here decision by having Ricky Starks continuing to win.
Right, of course.
And yeah, that's it. He hit
that
the
led
what was
to
it? It was the spear, right? That he hit
exactly, that he
Hager
beat him with.
Yeah. Okay, that's it.
First was a DDT that got him winded, and then the guys, Daddy Magic there, and I forgot the other guy's name. I should know. Daddy Magic. I tried to interfere.
Angelo Cool Hands.
And that's it. Angelo Cool Hands. I tried to interfere, and then Hager hit Cool Hands, and then he came for the spear. Ricky Starks came for the spear. 1, 2, 3. Boom. Spear wins. And then they also mentioned that Jericho's pissed, and so he's going to be facing. They're going to be facing Andretti and Ricky Starks next week. Him and Sammy Guevara. However, Garcia then had mentioned that if he actually has Andretti come this week on Rampage, which is going to be fire. I can't wait for that. I am not even looking for the spoilers. I am waiting on that one. And if Garcia wins, then what is it?
Then Garcia joins Jericho.
Then yeah, exactly. But I like the name Garcia. Damn it, Chris Jericho did it so well. Garcerico. Damn it. No, Garcerico. That's it. Garcerico was going to be the tag team for next week, which I'm down for. I'm down to see Chris Jericho and Garcia. And I think maybe this is where Garcia is going to kind of, I think, finally maybe leave JAS. I don't know, man. Because we keep seeing that he hates Sammy and he hates when Sammy hugs him. And like he's annoyed that he's still there. So I don't know what the fuck is going on.
And he's always defending and he's always defending Chris Jericho and defending sports entertainers. But it seems like the only thing that bothers him is this whole story with Sammy. But maybe there's a story to tell there for a future match. I think that would be great. Sammy versus Daniel Garcia to see who stays with the JAS.
That could be it. Yeah.
That
would be cool.
Because also, I don't know, because Sammy's really for the potential this guy has, he's kind of stagnating here a bit. But we've seen that as soon as they take him away from a faction or from Jericho, that bang, his value goes down. So I don't know what to do here with Sammy. Like he has the potential, but he always seems like he drops the ball there when they give him that opportunity. So I don't know.
Right.
But that would be a good way for Daniel to leave JAS type of thing, you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, true, Daniel. I'm like Garcia. I'm like, no, his name's still Daniel. Yeah, and honestly, I don't know, man. Give me as Daniel Bryan's last opponent. Give me Garcia again. You know, before the on the 8th kind of thing.
Yep.
Like, just give me another one of those bangers. Because that match, I think they did a best of 3 or something. All 3 of those matches were just fire.
Yeah, they were all good. Yeah,
you know, like give it to me one more time. I
And
don't
the
know how, but
story,
I don't know how Daniel Bryan is gonna do with Cage there.
yeah, because
Brian
next week it's
Cage.
Cage, right? Is his opponent? Yeah,
Uh,
Brian Cage.
yeah, and MJF is paying big bucks to make sure Cage gets his aggression out.
Yeah, he wants him to break Danielson's arm,
Uh,
but he slaps Brian, didn't he?
who?
As motivation, MJF.
Right, and then he kind of
Yeah,
fucking grabs him, and then he's like, "Good, that's exactly what I want." And then he throws the
yeah,
money
exactly.
to
Yeah.
Stokely. Stokely, I believe. No, not Stokely. Prince.
Oh yeah,
Prince.
the not the leader, but the mouthpiece of that faction, right? From Ring of Honor, where Brian Cage is
Yeah,
in.
Prince
Yeah,
something. Prince something.
yeah,
Gives him the money, and he's like, "Keep that anger for next week." So that should be a real interesting take on how that's gonna work. Obviously, Brian's gonna
yeah,
win, but
yeah. Well, Brian Danielson here because they're both Brian's. Just to be clear,
I
Brian
said Daniel
Danielson.
Bryan.
Oh, I heard just Brian. Sorry, I heard.
Oh,
Obviously,
okay.
Brian's gonna win. Sorry, I thought.
Uh,
But yeah, Brian versus Brian here. Cage versus Danielson, and Cage can go in the ring, so he's not just a big. He's not just a big guy. So this has a potential of
no,
being a
that's fair.
good match also. So yep, that's that going. Willow versus Tony Storm. I guess
Well,
is
I
Tony
mean, the
heel.
surprise here is the heel turn, right?
Yeah,
Tony and
yeah.
Saraya turn heel, and that came out of fucking nowhere. Like, what's going on now? Like, I first I didn't see the promo beforehand where Saraya was mad and she was bitching, I think, at Sheeta. So I totally didn't see that. So
Uh-huh.
when I saw the heel turn, I was like, what? Why? What happened? How are you guys heel now? I thought Sheeta was supposed to turn. What's going on here?
Yeah,
You
yeah. Because
know?
I don't
So
remember
Tony
that. I don't
turns
remember that
on.
promo either. I don't remember that
Yeah, it
promo
was
for some
just
reason.
right before the match.
Oh,
So
okay. Was it right after a commercial break when they came back from a commercial break? Could it be? Maybe
I
that's
think
why I
so.
missed
I
it a
am
bit.
checking.
That makes it would make
No,
sense.
see, that's the cage thing. And then that's them going. Where is hold on. Now I'm just checking again, just in case. Okay. Yeah, you see, they just kind of turned heel. The problem is these AEW homegrown girls. Oh, and Kishida's getting pissed again. Okay. Yeah, so
Yeah,
I guess Kishida's gonna turn face, or she's already face, but they're heel now. So yeah, it's just kind of weird. I kind of like Tony Storm as a heel, maybe, because this promo sounded pretty good. I don't think Saraya works good as a heel. I don't
I
think
don't.
Saraya works good as a promo person anymore. But
Yes, exactly. She it seems like she's very rusty in that department. But I think being a heel can liberate her a bit
right,
because you don't need to go look for that acceptance of
right,
the audience.
of the fence.
So
Right.
yeah, so you're more free. I mean, to push some buttons here. You don't have to always get the pops and the over like you were if you were a face. So I think that's the way to maybe do it here. I do agree with you that Tony is I like Tony as a heel, and I think Saraya is going to be the right road to get back to the old Saraya we know from back when she was called Paige. I think this is a good way. I think maybe I don't know if it's nerves. I don't know if it's little rust, but there's something missing here from Saraya,
Right.
and hopefully this can help her.
Yeah. We'll see. Here's to hoping, because
Yeah.
Jesus, really not caring about Saraya right now. Really not.
No, it wasn't. Well, she's definitely not backing up her. Well, not backing up, but I mean, she's not definitely not for her first few months here in AEW. She's definitely not living up to her status. Let's just say maybe
Right.
yes, she has a
Right.
good salary, but they did make a big deal about her returning. They are paying her the big bucks.
Right.
So yeah, that definitely there's needed a change of direction here, and I think maybe her being heel can make it easier for her to get back to her old ways. I think that could very well work if they do it right, obviously. And I think with Tony next to her, with Tony Storm next to her, I think is just a plus for her because it kind of
Right.
protects her. Um, right? I don't think she'll be having many singles matches in the near future. Maybe at a pay per view, maybe at the next pay per view,
Right.
which is Revolution. But I think for the next few weeks, you could have Tony there and her being trying to get back her groove and with a mic. So because she was good with a mic before, maybe not the greatest, but she was good, better definitely than what she's doing now. So yeah, and then it
Well,
comes
and we had,
go ahead.
I was going to say, we had mentioned that earlier before, a few episodes ago of, that could have been really with just the WWE scripting and all that, and then the camera work and the close-ups and the whatever have you, that kind of maybe made it all sound good together. And just some wrestlers having too much freedom, unfortunately, might not work. So maybe that's just the case of it being not overly scripted.
Yeah, that's definitely could be a possibility. Yeah, we've mentioned this before, and it could definitely be when you had everything prepared for you, detail by detail, with the promos all scripted. Maybe that was easier for you to get the message through. And now that you have more freedom and you
Mhm.
have to write more things yourself, it might be a bit harder. She might be good to deliver these promos, but maybe not to come up with what she's going to say, and that's possible here. Um, then we had the debut of Kushida in TNT on AEW
AEW.
for the AEW for the TNT Championship match against Darby Allin. Um, I always liked Kushida. Didn't like
Yep.
the way he was utilized in WWE. Another time they
Yeah.
dropped the ball with a Japanese, very good
Never
Japanese
got
wrestler.
why never got why they stuck him with jeans. I never understood that. I don't, and then maybe I thought it was a New Japan thing, but then I see here he has like shorts. So I don't like
Yep,
I because he was from New Japan, right?
yep,
Then when
yep,
before he went to NXT? Okay.
yep.
So like I don't know. They I enjoyed his work in NXT, but I just didn't like what they didn't really have a story for him. You know what I mean? So
No, because then
um
he had the good gimmick. He put on some good matches
mhm.
in NXT, but then when they went to the tag team route with that other Japanese wrestler there that always wears like a suit jacket there, uh, that's when it started going down for Kushida. Then they brought him up a bit, where they were try to bring him back as a singles guy, but it was the end of the road already. I think they were both already. They knew that he wasn't gonna continue there in NXT and WWE, so went back to
Right.
New Japan. Now he's kind of on New Japan strong, so
Okay.
that's why we get to see him more in the States. Um, but yeah, he came out with I don't did I write those names? Yeah, Kevin Knight and DKC of New Japan Strong were kind of like accompanying him.
Okay.
They actually when he was doing that what is it called, the hoverboard, because he's a huge Marty McFly Back to the Future fan, because his whole
Right.
gimmick even in NXT, even in New Japan, has something to do with that, and that his submission move is called the hover hoverboard lock. Um, and
Oh, that would explain his whole gimmick in NXT then. Okay.
yeah, and he still has
Okay.
he has that Marty McFly vest or whatever, jacket kind of thing
Right.
that he always has on. That's always been a consistent from New Japan to NXT
Okay.
and now back to AEW. So yeah, and then these guys, Knight, while he was doing the hoverboard lock, Knight and they were trying to get Sting to throw in the towel. So see, that's another, well, not a hint because he didn't end up throwing the towel, but like
Right.
it's still, there's a storytelling there in the background of Sting and Darby, because
Right.
we know that Sting said that when his contract is over, he will be retiring. I think he said that this week.
Oh, did he though? Wasn't it just more of like he's not sure if he's gonna resign, not necessarily that he's full-fledged retired. Like they didn't give an exact answer, I don't think.
Oh, okay. I maybe it's the way I interpreted it. Maybe I interpreted more like this
Well,
is
I
he, but they didn't
yeah,
say he
let
was
me
retiring. But I think I interpreted the way he was talking. It seemed like this was going to be his last contract in the industry, which would make perfect sense at the age that he is.
No,
He's got
for sure. Absolutely.
he finished. He got the opportunity to finish his career on his own terms, which is what he was lacking before.
Think he mentioned if he was going to have a final match, it was going to be with Darby. So I think that's what a lot of people speculated, like, oh, it's coming soon. I don't think those were his words, though, that he's not going to resign or something. And the dirty sheets, as Big Red would say, just kind of deconstructed what he said, and then made it push their own narrative. I think I'm gonna try.
It could be. It could be. I thought that's what maybe I got from it, but it could be. It could be because you definitely see these hints being thrown around. Not at every segment that they're together, but once in a while, bang, they give you a little hint. Oh, is there something happening here between Darby and Sting? And I think that would be a great way to end Sting's career, is with a match against Darby. And I think it would be his only singles match during his AEW run. And I think you would be protected there by Darby in that case.
So
I think
Tony Khan was on In the Click podcast. Sting's motivation for pro wrestling is so high as it's ever been. He loves what he's doing. I do think he's starting to think about what retirement will look like, but he's also not slowing down at all in the present. So, I'm not ready to say exactly when Sting is going to hang it up. Khan also noted that he speaks with Sting a lot, while stressing that the WWE Hall of Famer has been a huge, huge boost to AEW. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So I think that's where people are kind of just taking, like, what 62-year-old isn't talking about the potential of possibly retiring. But at the same time, he could still maybe retire in 2 or 3 years, kind of thing. So I just don't think there's an exact on it.
No. It wasn't definitely. It wasn't an announcement that he made. Yeah, you're right. I think that's the only time it was actually mentioned was Tony Khan. I thought it was for some reason. I thought it was.
Well, Sting's recently revealed that he's planning the end of his pro wrestling career. During our interview on D Magazine, the 63-year-old AEW star made it clear that he is trying to find the perfect ending to ride off into the sunset on a high note. In some ways, it sounded awfully similar to The Undertaker's last ride in WWE. Sting won't allow himself, based on the publication wording, the end of Sting's legendary career will happen in 2023. His contract is up sometime this year, and he's going to say goodbye after that. Sting won't allow himself to rest, not yet. He's chasing the one thing that keeps eluding him in his wrestling twilight, a final act. The right performance to cap off storied career. I was going to say steroid. A storied career, a moment, a storyline, something constructed with his bosses at AEW. But who the fuck is saying this, though? Ever since Sting returned to the ring in March 2021, following a 5.5-year hiatus, he has upped the... I just want to know who this is, because I feel like this is not Khan. That was embarrassing. I just want it to be a great memory.
Because
whatever I do, I want wrestling fans to say, oh, that is him. Okay, I should have... Go ahead.
Because I just Googled, will Sting retire? And there's 4 articles. Sting's AEW deal expires this year to retire. Okay, so 5. So we have even Bleacher Report. So Bleacher Report is probably the most credible one here. We have the Sportster, Cage Side Seats, which is okay credibility. Wrestling Headlines, I don't really know. Super Luchas, I don't really know. So let's go with Bleacher Report, which is usually a pretty good. Does it say the date that it was written? Let me see here. So after suffering a neck and the match, according to TMZ Sports, doctors. Oh no, this is really.
It's old.
Okay, that's why. My bad. This Bleacher Report was from 2016. So let me go to the one that says 8 days ago. Wrestling.
Steve Borden's last match for World Championship Wrestling scripted looked like that. Blah 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 blah. The opening riff of Metallica's "Seek and Destroy." Okay, fucking articles and their long ass. Over the years, he watched them climb. His 17-acre ranch in Waxahachie Beacons. Okay. Even now, 2 years into his time in the roster of AEW, his latest employer had occasionally assured shy wrestlers that it's okay to approach him. Blah, blah, blah. As a result, says Meltzer, the longtime wrestling journalist, he could basically go in there and throw a few punches and do 40 seconds. Okay.
I got it here.
Mhm.
I got it here from. So this is it is from Cage Side Seats, January 12th. Sting recently revealed that he's planning the end of his pro wrestling career during an interview with D Magazine.
Okay, yes, that was the one I was reading. But fun fact, he never actually says Sting. So I'm reading the actual D Magazine thing. So I'm actually looking at the D Magazine because the problem there is he's always saying like he in his quotes. So I'm just kind of like, well, you're not quoting properly then. So that's why I'm looking for, you know what?
Could it be that he's alluding?
Technically, he's already retired. The obvious solution, WWE nowhere else. Okay, I just put retirement just to kind of see. Retire, just got over with. I found him related. Blah blah blah. Okay, retire is mentioned a lot in this fucking thing. 63-year-old professional wrestler legend could have retired to his ranch. Technically, he's already no. So many of the guys, former championship. See, I don't think that ever gets mentioned in the fucking article, though. I finally relented and said, all right, let's just do it. That treatment could have blah, blah, blah. Have Sting on your roster. Why wouldn't you utilize him? No one's looking for him going, oh, well, that's pretty good for a 63-year-old, says Daniels, blah, blah, blah. Retired standard, he'd be back or so if his colleagues figure, but Koloff stayed out of the ring. He was born again the following year. No. Borden understands he's not, as he puts it, a human Super Bowl. Carefully script their matches to work around his limitations, and he isn't afraid to tell an opponent he won't take certain maneuvers. There's a reason he still has the original body parts, but he remains a pro wrestler. And as Daniels, who is still wrestling at 52, says, do the job as always. No. Yeah, so the fact that it's taking me forever to kind of find it leads me to believe it wasn't actually from his mouth.
That what D Magazine is lying?
Well, no, they're just using clickbait journalism. The last days of Sting, right? That can mean so many things. That's so fucking vague.
Yeah.
So
the feeling I get is that he's, from having it here in front of me and reading it, is that yes, there's no planned retirement, but that he thinks he won't be signing a new contract, and that in this last year of his contract, that he's trying to find that one last final act that can really put the cherry on top of his career. That's the feeling I get from the way he's talking and he's alluding to it, because that's what I see. He goes, what was that quote I just read? His wife worries, so do some of his friends, but they're also curious. They too wonder how Sting's story ends.
Yeah, but that's what Koloff said. Okay, so that's Koloff. Borden knows only that it's soon. His deal with AEW expires sometime this year. He won't say exactly when it ends. So will his time behind the face paint. He won't say exactly when, but when it ends, so will his time behind the face paint.
Okay, so yeah.
But
so basically, we don't know when it's going to end, because we don't even know when the contract ends. It's December 2023.
Well, it's this year.
Well, yeah, it's this year because he started in 2020 at the Winter is Coming. That would speculate people to think it's around December 2023 where the contract ends. So he has a full year here to plan his thing. So what seems like is concrete is that he won't be re-signing a new contract. Now, from there, we don't know. Maybe he will retire from the ring, but have more of a administrative role with AEW, because I
Right.
think he can be an asset to Tony Khan, definitely.
Right.
A man that's been in the business for 4 decades, like he has at the top of the business, I think can definitely be an asset for somebody running a wrestling company. So,
Mhm.
but like it's mentioned in the article, it's the man behind the face paint, right? That's when we'll know that it will be the end. But they're trying to find, which I think that the best story to tell here as a classic ending to that career right now would be a Darby match. I just don't know how he's. I guess one match he could do it. He could do it good. It doesn't have to be a long match, so not to affect
Right.
his cardio too much. But
Especially
I
with
think
someone
that
like
would be
Darby. Jesus Christ.
yeah. I think that would be a nice storytelling, not storytelling, storybook ending for him staying here against
Right.
Darby. I think that would be the right story to tell. I guess we'll see, because there's still it seems like there's still almost a full year left to that contract. So I think we'll still get to see Sting. Not many times. Well, but probably not many times, but enough times in the next year we'll get our dose of Sting, because Sting is always a pleasure to watch, especially when he still does those bumps at 63 years old. Is just those spots are pretty sick. A cinematic match would be good. That's about the pitch when we were talking about the black match, right?
Oh, Jesus. Okay. My bad.
Oh no! It could be that they're talking about Sting being a cinematic. It could be also, yeah, Sting's final match could also be a cinematic. Yes, I don't know if he would want to go that route.
That was at 9:31. Yeah. So
Okay, so that's
like
now.
he
So it's
literally
now.
said that
Yeah,
now. Oh.
yeah, that's now. So yeah, I guess that could be a route. I don't know if Sting would want to end his career on a cinematic match. He would probably want to like do his last match inside the four the ropes, inside the ropes there. But it's definitely a possibility. Yes, thank you for clarifying that.
By the way, make sure you allow the comment or let us know who you are, because all it does is say Facebook user.
Yes. So either allow or sign your comment at the bottom, and so we know who you are. Always a pleasure to have you guys interact with us. So I guess that was the rundown.
Watch, it's just Big Red.
Oh,
I don't know. I'm just assuming, but I guess kind of on the last thing. So I'm wondering. I feel he would be safe and take more decent bumps.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's Mike. Nice.
Oh, yes. I think yes, it would be safer, and it would be the safer route for him. Yeah, I agree with that. It's more my hesitation in that is more of like the way he sees it, how he would want to end his career. But yeah, definitely his safety, for the side of his safety, definitely a cinematic match would be the way to go. And I think it might be they might be able to pull off more things in a cinematic match, right? Because you could cut it, edit, and stuff like that. So maybe you wouldn't have to, go through a 25-minute in-ring match from bell to bell, in a cinematic atmosphere environment. I think it could help him out. Definitely, Mike. I agree with your statement that it would be safer for him. Definitely.
And they could just do a lot more too, right? Cinematic match, you can really just do whatever. They've done a cinematic match, I believe, together. Were they together or against each other?
Yep, I think it was the tag team match, right? Backstage or where in a border room.
It was in it was in like a warehouse or something.
Yeah, a warehouse, something like that. Exactly. Yeah, I remember that. Okay, so there goes another week of rundown. So,
yeah,
take us home.
Long. Jesus,
take us home.
Yeah, well, gonna definitely take you guys home. Because God damn it, I was gonna mention about the Vince thing. One of his sexual assault settlements has been cleared, but for that you'll have to look on our page or listen next time for more news for that. Yes. So with that said, thank you, Mike, for coming on in, joining in, and of course Miguel as well. And for everyone else who decided to listen and not comment, we appreciate all of you. You can, of course, follow us at WTN Wrestling on all of our socials, except for Twitch, where it's WTN_ Wrestling Talk Now. And you can certainly check that out. Please follow us. And hopefully we eventually then get to become a partner. That would be pretty cool. So, yeah, with that, you can, of course, always follow Kid Crazy over at...
Yeah, you can follow me on Facebook for Michael Costa or for anything wrestling right here on all these platforms that JLB just mentioned at our WTN pages. You guys are more than welcome, and we love to interact with you guys. And shameless, quick shameless plug here. So next week we'll have our go home podcast before the Rumble, and you guys are all welcome to join us at the Rumble, January 28th, 9515 Hochelaga Street, where we will be filming the podcast, going live at 5, and then we'll all be watching the Rumble together. Live at 5, and then we'll be watching the Rumble at 7. It starts at 7. So you guys are all welcome. Food and drinks available. No entry fee. So come as many as possible, and let's all have fun
together. What's that address again, Mr. Crazy?
9515 Hochelaga Street.
Okay, it sounded like you were going to continue on with something there. 9515 Hochelaga Street. Yeah. It's 95. Exactly. It's 9515.
Yeah, 9515.
Okay, sure. I was there, but I'm not.
9515, which is about in the area of Des Ormeaux, so Boulevard Des Ormeaux. So it's a bit more east after Des Ormeaux, but if you want to just situate yourself, it's around that area. So it's very easy. It's on straight on Hochelaga, so it's very easy to find. There's the big community center sign in front, so you'll be able to recognize the place. And let's all go watch the Rumble together, and should be a fun night at one of the best pay-per-views of the year, which initiates the road to WrestleMania.
That's it. And of course, we will be back next week to talk about our what we thought about Raw Triple X, because I feel like that's going to be a banger of a show. And yeah, that's going to be fun. So thank you guys. Of course, I am Justin JLB. You can follow me at twitch.tv/JLBTLC25. I have not been doing anything lately, though. So feel free to follow me there and bitch at me to go and do something, because maybe that would help motivate me to go and do something. But other than that, I'd like to thank you guys for joining in once again. Kid Crazy as always, Big Red as well. Even with a sling, he's still here to help us out. So that is pretty dope. And that is pretty much it, guys. So we will see you next week. And then after that, back on Saturday for the Rumble Bash, where we'll do it all over again. And definitely give our predictions on the Royal Rumble as well. So until next time, ciao for now. You don't like my style, go ahead and give me one mic. Everybody's got excuses.